and houses several automobile and consumer manufacturing industries. The city has seen the rise and fall of many empires, from the Cholas to Vijayanagara and even the British Raj in the recent past, with every empire leaving their footprints engraved in the city's architecture. Hosur's ancient past, filled with heritage sites, comprises many of the tourist sites in the city. Chandira Chudeshwarar, Lord Shiva, is a much celebrated deity in the region. The Dakshina Tirupati temple is another one of the tourist sites in the city. The Mutyala Madavu Falls is a pristine marvel of nature, and the clean water only adds to the amazement of the falls. And now add to that list is the marvelous and picturesque Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort. Founded in 2009 and designed by Phil Ryan, the Clover Green Golfscape is designed to provide an elevated golfing experience for seasoned professionals. With its stunning natural environs, half the course navigates a massive rock outcrop, astutely offering up obstacles, opportunities, and visual treats in plenty. After 2 days, the cut was declared at 1 over 143. 57 professionals and 1 amateur made the cut. Nepal's Subhash Tamang continued in tight second place after shooting a 68 in round 2. Olympian and Pune golfer Udayan returned the day's lowest score of 65 to leapfrog 8 spots to tight second place at 10 under 132. Meanwhile, Yuvraj Sandhu of Chandigarh produced a second round score of 4 under 67 to extend his lead to 2 shots at the 1 crore PGTI Players Championship 2025. PGTI Order of Merit leader and last week's winner Yuvraj, the overnight leader by 1 shot, moved his total to 12 under 130 at the halfway stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to each one of you. We are live at the PGTI Players Championship from Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort from Hosur, Nadu. I'm your host Shaurya Singh, joined alongside Mr. Shivasnath and Mr. Krishnaswamy. The three of us are here live on the penultimate day of this tournament, and it's the 15th event of the calendar year on the Professional Golf Tour of India. And what a beautiful sight it is. And leading the tournament is none other than Yuvraj Sandhu, steamrolling the entire field. The indomitable Yuvraj has a vice grip again on this tournament with a 3-shot lead. Trailing him is Karthik Sharma, Udayan Mane, the Olympian, and Kshitij Navidkar, Brashar Singh. It's been a low-scoring week thus far. This tournament offering quite a few birdie opportunities, and the players are more than happy to take them. The cut has been applied at 1 over after 2 days, and a total of 58 golfers have made cut. And beautiful weather here at 32 degrees. It's ideal. The monsoons have rolled over, and what can only be described as a beautiful day, huh, Shivas?
Well, thank you, Shaurya, for having me in, and a warm welcome to all our hosts. Well, I wondered whether the weather is, of course, doing very well, and Karthik, of course, has made a fantastic start today. He's charged up the leaderboard 5 under after 7 holes, and Yuvraj, of course, staying solid as you mentioned, 3 under today after the first 6.
I can tell you one thing, Shivas, that he's the best front runner that we've seen in recent memory. We've seen the kind of form that he's been in. But make no mistake that there are going to be no easy quarters on the Professional Golf Tour of India. The players are hungry and ready to fire.
And there we have a lovely flyover of the 10th hole, and beautiful conditions, thickly lined fairways, and yep, we are off at believe it, this is the 10th tee. Very interestingly, Shaurya, as they were giving the weather update, you are aware, I know, but our viewers should be aware that pretty much most of the golf course sits in Tamil Nadu and some parts of it are in Karnataka. And that itself is quite an interesting scenario for a particular golf course.
Yeah, a unique setting indeed. Only an hour from Bengaluru. This is the golf hub of the south, so as to speak. And then we're looking at Abhinav Lohan, Arjun Prasad. And they're really on song this week, the two of them.
No, these boys have been playing extremely well, and Abhinav in particular, I've seen a bit of a resurgence, earlier this year and again now. He's a very hardworking young man. I think he's a good friend of yours as well.
And my sorry to interject, Ravi Kumar as well. He's been on the up. It's good to see him right on top. It tells you that the pedigree on professional golf tour of India, not just the top 5 or 10 players that you see on the top of the leaderboard. It's anybody who has a card can roll the dice that week.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. There's so much talent out there. All the younger players putting in the hard yards when it comes to fitness, practice routines, using technology, club fitting as well, and obviously no substitute for hard work.
And Lady Luck. Oh, that was a virulent swing. I'll tell you that much. Didn't really hold back. Gave it the Sunday special, and that is a booming drive.
Yeah, that's a huge drive. The 10th, of course, is a 420-yard par four, and the rock features and the little bunkers create a bit of interest here because when this hole plays downhill, they can get plenty close to that green.
What a swing like that tells you, Shivas. What does it tell you? It tells you that the back is in good shape. You can go after it.
It also tells me, sure, I'm too old to swing like that.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm still fighting against Father Time as we have a look at Ravi, who has actually really bombed it, and this
There you
is
go.
on the green.
There you
That
go.
is Ravi Bryson DeChambeau.
Yep. Now, that was a spectacular result, and
Yeah.
for our viewers on the screen, you can see it's 420 yards, and playing downwind, these guys have got there because it does drop off a bit, fairway rolls a bit down, and you pick the right line, and as you said, Lady Luck gets you the right bounce. You're
Yeah.
there.
And you're also cutting the corner a little bit, just to give our viewers a real insight. It's not all of 420 as the bird flies. So it plays a little shorter, but still these drives to get on the green, you have to be in excess of about 330 yards on pure drive. At least get a 300-yard carry in there because Arjun also has a lot of power. Let's see. This is a lot of lag in this swing. Very strong.
Solid. Well, they can't even use the term good balance anymore because the new technology and the way the guys swing, they are just, it's more about face control and raw power, isn't it? I think he's in the bunker now, sure, isn't he?
Not quite certain where that has ended up, but it's early days on the penultimate day, and we're seeing that the players are going hell for leather, not leaving anything on the table, so as to speak. And that's what you expect because this is a big event, ladies and gentlemen. This offers a prize fund of rupees 1 crore with 15 lakh going to the winner. And if you fancy yourself as a good professional golfer, I tell you, just put your name down and head on over to www.pgtofindia.com. The Professional Golf Tour of India will be holding the Q School in January. There are quite a few months, so
What's the location for Q School this Ashorya? Would you be aware?
I'm not quite certain.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be on the calendar. We should check that and give out that information to our aspiring pros. It's good to see young Vir Ganapathy on the leaderboard. He's the older son of former tour professional Rahul Ganapathy.
A very pedigreed tour professional, former numero uno, and now the bloodline really carrying the legacy.
No, I've been seeing young Veer doing exceedingly well on the amateur tour as well. And Clover, for those who may not know, was home course for the Ganapathys for several years into the late, just around 2018-19 till about 2021-22. And now, of course, Rahul plies his trade at the KGA.
And I'll tell you, he's a chip of the old block, huh? The same strong build. And so those golfing genes are definitely paying good, rich dividends. And somebody who, of course, has great golfing genetics is Yuvraj Sandhu, the man with the Swilken touch. And I've been most impressed. And, sometimes I've also been told that I'm a little biased when I, shower so much praise on him. But for all the golfers, his swing and the way the ball comes out each and every time is like a frozen rope. So I really like that. And somebody pretty similar, Karthik Sharma, although he has he's a southpaw and comes out with a lower, flatter ball flight. But again, one of the really penetrating ball flights. So it'll be interesting. And of course, however much you want to wax eloquent about the Olympian, the tag Olympian is good enough.
Yeah, then another big boy, very, very talented, extremely hardworking. He's been working very hard on his fitness, and it's there for all of us to see. And certainly, the tag of Olympian is something that he will cherish, and obviously we reference it with a lot of pride.
Talking about big boy Shivas, you're not holding back either. I know that your rambunctious personality and your flair for great clothing on the golf course is known to all. How about your drives? Are you still booming it well past 300, or has
Yeah,
there been
yeah,
a
it's
change?
about 350, 250 in the air, 100 sideways.
Perfect. Spoken
No,
like
well,
a.
things do change as you get older.
As we see the players sauntering on, it'll be interesting to note where Arjun has ended. But you see the difference. At the end of the day, golf is turning into a power game, whether you like it or not. The old ways are sort of gone. The Larry Mize and then the old days, the Ben Crenshaws. It's kind of a dying breed, unfortunately, and you see that it's so much more of a bomb and gouge style of play. But as they say, you got to roll with the changes.
No, you're absolutely right, because athleticism, power is a very important part of it, as it is in most other sports. That it's a question of milliseconds and centimeters, as we say it. But you're right. The names you referenced, who are all old legends, have been. I used to reference them as artists, and Sevi Ballesteros being at the top of that list. And at that time, you didn't actually have equipment fitting or tweaking to the extent you have it now. You can actually preset driver settings, irons, loft lie, shaft options, and that kind of has taken away the ability, I feel, for a lot of young players to be artists. Yes, they visualize extremely strong, they hit it a lot further, but the finesse, we never had a lob wedge, for example. When we talk about these older players, they just use ball position and hand position to create shots.
Somebody will have to call up his inner Pablo Picasso at this point in time. Will be Abhinav Lohan. He'll need some artistry to get this ball snuggled up close. Let's see how he does.
Doesn't seem very happy, does he? No, just looking at his
Yeah,
caddy.
the ball is cutting a forlorn figure on that green, not quite adjacent to the flag. So I would say A for effort and probably B for the net outcome. But let's see if he can make that putt now. The man of the hour, Arjun Prasad. What a player.
Yeah, a tremendous young man, very soft spoken, extremely well behaved, conducts himself beautifully. I'm a huge fan of Arjun.
Yes, extremely genial, and he's based out of Gurugram, the son of defense army officer, and the lot of us we've had the privilege of getting exposed to this game and also harsh discipline, which I think can pay dividends. So as we talk about that, but the jury's still out when it comes to me. Yeah, that's what my father used to say. But anyways, coming back to more pressing matters, Arjun here from the bunker, looking on pensively.
Yeah, yeah. The high lip of the bunker in front of them makes them get down to
And
their
that's a
tippy
brilliant
toes.
shot right
Yeah,
there.
that's definitely a good result.
I would have thought that they would have more power within Ravi, but it tells you looks can be deceptive. He definitely has another gear, doesn't he?
Absolutely, and I was kind of a bit surprised at how far he flew it. And actually, the ball did bound off a bit because the fairway has been raining a bit in the area. Fairways are a bit soft, greens are soft as well. So he definitely did get I think, a very favorable bounce forward on the downhill slope of the fairway.
But he had quite a lot of fly as well, so that is good to note.
Absolutely.
And that's what I see a lot of the players sort of getting accustomed to the new game and spending their time in the weight room. In years gone by, that would be the 19th hole where the players would flock. I'm talking about the days of yore, but obviously now it's a different game. You don't see the John Daly's anymore.
Well, it's funny you should bring up John Daly, because my generation referenced him as Guruji. He had exceptional talent, complete lack of discipline from at least what the public saw, and that's just not what happens anymore.
What's your take on this part? I see a lot of English on this one. It's going to turn at least maybe to back, and you can see his trousers fluttering as well, and you can see us as well.
Yeah, there you are. We've got our charming smiles, our well
Well,
formed beards, stubbles.
as I say, the jury is out. Let's have a look at that putt and how Ravi does. Maybe it's an early eagle for him. It looks good. Has it got the legs? Not quite, but you'd
Yeah.
always take a two-putt birdie. Huh?
Oh, absolutely, all day long. It's an interesting comment. Holes that has been extended, and interestingly, while you spoke about the wind being up day before yesterday in round one, the scoring in round one was significantly lower than round two.
Because the par fives were all playing downwind. That's what they told me. The players that the par fives are very favorable. I think it's the best way how to sort of build a defense on these shorter golf courses, lengthen the par threes. So you make par a premium on the shorter holes because you can't really do much on the others. But if you can make life difficult, case in point, your home course.
Very true. Very true. There's a lot that can be done to mix it all up and give the boys out there something to think
This
about.
let's talk about something to think about. I think Arjun definitely has food for thought on this one. This looks like 4.5, 5 feet. All the greens are rolling at above 9, so that's a friendly speed. That's probably the ideal speed for a player to hold it because it's neither slow nor excruciatingly fast. So you can get it done and it holds true. So that's one of the reasons you're seeing so many birdies here.
No, absolutely right. It's a very comfortable speed, and I think it's also a very fair speed. The speed again, has to be set up based on the wind conditions as you referenced, because you can't have unfair pin placements where it's hard to hold balls in place, and also kind of on the contours of the greens and the length of the hole.
I reckon this might snake away a little bit to his right. So we'll need to have a firm hit on this because if you leave it, it can snake away.
You're right. This seems like it will move a bit left to right.
And he put a good roll on that one and makes a birdie. And the juggernaut rolled on.
And of course, in the meantime, Yuvraj has gained a shot. He is at 4 under for the day, as has Karthik. He's moved to 6 under for the day. Still a 3 shot difference between the two boys. Yuvraj ahead of the pack at 16 under, and Karthik chasing him at 13 under, followed by Udayan Mane, who has also picked up birdie in the meantime. Can I now invite my colleague Swami to join Shaurya while I enjoy a nice coffee?
Well, that seems like the ideal break as we look at Ravi, who made easy pickings of this hole. Just a tap in birdie. This week, we also have the ProPix contest going on for our viewers. So you can go on over to propix.live and there you can pick out your favorite players and see who can make a birdie and hit it closest on the par 3. All the details are there, and that I believe there's a nifty prize fund of 5,000 rupees to the winner as well. So a lot to play for, not just for the players, but for our viewers as well. As you have a look at the par 4 again, Kshitij now with call.
Thank you, Shaurya. Thank you, Shivas. Kshitij Navid Kaul, one of the brightest stars here, of course, has been through a bit of up and down in the past couple of seasons. Came in as a very precocious youngster, represented India at many of the internationals like the Asia Pacific Amateurs at various places, was a runner up when he was barely 15 years old, and here, of course, is in the bunker now.
He's on the left bunker and almost flew it up to the front of the green. So you see that he does have quite a lot of power, almost flying it to the front edge. So that's the difference that we saw in the previous group and this one, that Ravi was able to get it on the green, but the fly, the hang time, that is a different currency altogether. Kshitij Navid Kaul can get it well above 295 in the air. As we have a look at Badal from Bangladesh. Very unique swing. Almost looks like he holds off right towards the end. And saw that grimace. So maybe that has veered off to the right-hand side. That is territory which is frequented by the three of us, I believe, when we play golf.
Well, by the two of you, I hardly play golf these days.
Well, then we'll find you walking there, Mr. Swami, as we have a look at my namesake, who's definitely doing the justice it deserves. Shaurya.
Tall chap. That's a lot of power.
That's a good swing. What I like about the players of this generation, they're all balanced. And look at that. Another big fly right towards the front edge. Flew the bunker that we saw the previous group enter into. So shows you that he also has a fly about 300, 305. So really packing a punch, these youngsters, I'll tell you that much. As they walk on this par 3. Let's have a look at some of the players. Yeah, we'll soon be getting into the commercial. Then we'll have a look at some of the players who ended up on the other side of the.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्यास के लिए.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है. मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद.
Back on the screen there, Kshitij, Shaurya, and Padul.
This walk reminds me of one of the phrases by Greg Norman. You know, what's the happiest walk is one a long walk with a putter.
There's also the book, A Good Walk Spoiled, John
Yeah, see,
Feinstein.
It could be either. I tell you the truth, Mr. Swami. You know, I'm trying to still understand what it is after all these years of playing golf. You know,
The day we understand that, I'm sure, we would have solved a lot of mysteries of this game.
you know, it's akin to a lot of other things in life. If you don't take it too seriously, it's no fun. But if you just pour your heart into it, you'll often find that the heart is broken. So take your pick. I remember growing up and playing golf in all these army golf courses, and you'll have these truisms on every tee, such as the woods are full. Where are the long hitters? The woods are full of them. Or drive for show, putt for dough. But I think many of these don't quite hold true in the modern game. The modern game is all about drive for dough.
So many. I mean, it's been a birdie barrage this morning. In fact, if you look at it, the top four guys, I mean, Yuvraj, Karthik, Udayan, and Kshitij, none of them have actually dropped a shot. And it's just been a huge number of birdies with 3 par 5s on the front 9. It's been a lot of pickings for all of them.
Yeah, you're also seeing a lot of eagles on hole number 2, the par 5. You're seeing an eagle by Karthik, seeing one by Anshul Kabatyal, Hani Besoya, and Stepan Danik from Czechia. So 4 eagles on that hole itself, and then 12 as well as garnering quite a few eagles. So not just birdies.
There's one in between there on Joshua Seal. A golf player from Uganda. Actually, that's the only name I've ever known from Uganda in terms of professional golf.
Well, I know that your knowledge in the game of golf and about all things concerning runs rather deep. So it's good that you gave us that piece of trivia as we look at Badal, which I would say that this golf shot is a little easier than the one from the front bunker. You have enough green, leave it on somewhere on the left-hand side and let it trundle down. Let's see if that's what he does. Just maybe try and cut across it a little bit. And hasn't he done well? What a beautiful shot. And believe you me, that looks a lot easier than what it is. It's equally likely that all of us can scull it over the green.
No, he stopped it right on top of the ridge almost, it looks like. Just around that place. Around the flag. And now another one.
Yeah, he's almost past the green on the back left, and we'll have more of a pronounced downhill on this one. Let's see what kind of shot he employs. If he's going to hit the bump and runs out a bunker shot that hits the green and runs a little bit, or add more check. And he's gone for the approach
Oh
of
my
rolling
God.
it.
That is like even better, as they say. A scamper's got a line here: fist that fuels your zid. I wonder if it's zid, skill, grit, what? It's all put together, and he's inside what Badal Hussain we thought had done well with. Shit has just done even better.
Yeah, it's almost like an old western. Anything that you
Yeah.
you can do, Padre, I can do better.
So, time to mention a few of our sponsors: Victorious Choice, an entity inspired by the philosophy of Choice International Limited that has risen to become a unicorn in the financial sector. And of course, back to Shaurya there. We'll come back to the other sponsors. Broke a bit too early there, left himself a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a cleanup left for him. Maybe all of 4 feet, but that's a good part. You've seen the players are a little apprehensive of going beyond the flag because there's a little bit of a drop off after that. So they've erred on the side of caution.
So, about the other sponsors, this Indus Bank has been redefining banking for the last 50 years and has been a force for progression and innovation, offering an elevated banking experience. Amrutanjan Electro is a 127-year-old company with a rich legacy and the iconic brand of Amrutanjan Pain Balm. Rolex, of course, needs no introduction, has been in golf since 1967 when Arnold Palmer became a Rolex testimony. Amul, powering PGTI Surge and Tour partnerships. And here is Shaurya,
Now this is
namesake of my fellow commentator.
yeah. Let's see how it does on this putt. Speed is going to be essential on this one. Doesn't want to underhit it. It'll have a tendency to break to the right. Maybe a little bit just outside the cup and let feedback. And he's done well. Very calm, composed stroke.
And
Tells
that's
you
a
a lot
par
about-
four. That's a par four. So he really drove it big, had it right on the edge of the green.
Now, the rest of the two putts with what appear to be formalities. I would assume so. This entire group would go 3 under par on this also. Brilliant play by the three of them thus far. And as Badal cleans up, let's have a look at some of the players who unfortunately could not quite make the cut. We had Dipankar Kaushal with the valiant effort, a 5 over 4 under, unfortunately missing the cut by a solitary shot. And you have Arjun Sharma.
Just slips past there.
You know, I must say, Swami, I apologize to the viewers. This is the commentator's curse in full view. I feel somehow personally responsible, but of course, that's such is the game of golf.
Listen, if commentators were spoiling the players or vice versa, both of us would have had a lot to pay for.
I swear, but whenever you think that it's a done deal, then the golfing gods surprise you, and such is this game of golf, and that's why I say it's not quite over till
it's over.
Yeah, I was going to say that previous phrase, but I think in this day you would probably say till the little maybe
Fat lady sings.
Till I would think that's a word that I would just say till maybe the slightly overburdened or overweight.
So meanwhile, there's been a two-shot swing as Kshitij cleans up his birdie, I guess. There's been a two-shot swing. Yuvraj got a birdie on the 8th, and Karthik dropped a shot on the 9th. So there is Karthik. We take his name, and this young lefty who models. He says. I mean, he once told me that he models himself, or rather idolizes Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, I think that will happen. The amount of idols that you have as a southpaw are limited. So, your range of choice, you're not really spoiled for choice as opposed to
Phil
righty.
Mickelson is a good man to have as an idol.
Yeah, but that's something that I never quite thought of. Your selection pool is very narrowed down. So,
showing
it'll be
the
interesting.
ball.
It'll be interesting to note how he hits his drive. Has a lot flatter, so you'll see that his ball would bound on and have a lot of forward run on it. That's really comes in hot the way he hits the driver. So, a very athletic young man. Oh, that was a big dip on that one. Maybe he was controlling that. A three-quarter sort of a drive for him, and he has ended up in that bunker, which has seen a lot of traffic today. I'll tell you that much.
He had a good start there, 5 under through the first 4 holes, and later picked up another birdie in the eighth, but gave that back on the ninth. So it's been a 5 under start on the front line for young Karthik, but Yuvraj is just going way, way ahead.
Mohammad Azhar now with his drive. Also coming up a little short of the green, what it appears now. Brushford Pal, he's got a lot of power, this young man. Very strongly built.
And I must say, very classy. Huh? I mean, he's well dressed and very fit.
Yeah, has a lot of power.
He's got a twin brother too, isn't he?
Yeah, both of them can get the ball out there. And I think if I had a dime for every time I said it, I'd be a millionaire. There's so many long hitters now on the professional golf tour of India. It's a big change from when I was on tour. Now let's see. Surprising that he's going with the driver as well. I thought he would be able to get there with a 3-wood. Good athletic setup. Look at that. That was... Oh, but that has
he's
been...
ordering the ball to go to the right. Go right, heels.
No, he's... I would think he would be rather pensive about that happening. And unfortunately, he leaked it to the right. Maybe trying to curtail back. And difficult... You see that slight bit of dog leg from left to right. Especially for a longer hitter to cut, sort of hold off. It's not that easy. And that can happen sometimes. You sort of get under it and that's gone to the right. And from what I hear... The players tell me that
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्यास के लिए.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
There is Karthik there. So Yuvraj has now built a handy 5-shot lead over the rest of the field, and of course his closest rival right now, the man chasing him, is Kshitij and Karthik, both of them at 12 under. Kshitij is 5 under for the day through 10 holes, and Karthik is 5 under through 9 holes. And Yuvraj 5 under through 8 holes. So Yuvraj is on a rampage. I mean, he is just not letting go over the last few rounds. Now he's been in the lead for 6 rounds in a row, 4 in the previous tournament and twice this week. And of course, that would be the 7th straight round he's been on top of the leaderboard. That's quite a feat to be able to maintain that kind of momentum. And Yuvraj, of course, has made it very clear that he's got one big goal at the end of this year: to stay on top of the order of merit of the PGTI and get a slot on the DP World Tour as India's representative, and hopefully join both Shubhankar Sharma and Vir Ganapathy on the world's second biggest tour.
Well, this is an important shot for young Karthik. He's made a bogey and fallen a bit off pace on the ninth hole. Ninth hole, which has been recently extended, and It's kind of gone up from 140 yards to 150 yards, now up 200 upwards. So definitely Karthik, looking at his options, having missed it to the right side. And you notice, Swami, luckily for him, where his ball is sitting, it's not the deeper portion of the rough. It's something that he can actually manage to get a little bit of spin on and a bit of distance control as well.
True, true. But he needs to get out of that trouble he has.
It's very interesting for that little maybe 25 to 30 yard pitch shot. He actually had his rangefinder out there to get the exact yardage. And now, of course, he's going to have to navigate the slopes and figure out how much the ball's going to run through towards the flag.
On the left screen, we see the leader this week and the leader on the tour, Yuvraj Sandhu.
He's been in absolutely splendid form.
Oh, yes.
He's actually, got that bit of a lead, and he not without reason. He's been playing some tremendous golf, and had a bit of chat with him after the event, the Callans Open, which was back at the Kutub Golf Club, and he remains very focused on his European Tour dream. And good luck to the young man. He absolutely deserves it with the golf he's playing.
I actually spoke to him last week, after his previous win, and he's got his calendar planned out very well. I'll just tell you a bit more of that after Karthik takes this shot. Oh, it's just run away. That's exactly what he was fearing, I think, because when he took out his rangefinder, and he's now on the other side of the green, leaving a lot of work to be done. Yeah, and I was telling you about Yuvraj. I mean, he kept saying, "Listen, I also said I want to take some rest in between my various starts, and I think after this tournament he plans to take a week or two off." And then, of course, he's got some international engagements too. And the focus, of course, is then on that big tournament which the PGTI is going to be co-sanctioning with the DP World Tour, called the DP World India Championships, which will feature Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood.
It's incredible, the amount of excitement that event has caused.
And $4 million, Shivas.
Yep, it's a huge prize fund, and lots of preparatory work going on at the Delhi Golf Club. Our own PGTI commissioner, CEO, Amandeep Johal, very involved with that himself. A tremendous player in the past, still is a very good player, and very involved with the course setup and a part of the committee there as well.
That could be a big moment, a game changer. Earlier in the year, there was Bryson DeChambeau who came here, and now Rory McIlroy. When you have the world's best stars coming into play on Indian soil, there's a lot of inspiration for the younger stars. And I'm sure Rory McIlroy with that green jacket. I wonder if he's going to bring the green jacket to India.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to bring that, Swami. I think that would be just a huge gesture, because, as we know, it's only the reigning Masters champion that can take the green jacket with him and then return it, obviously, prior to the following year's championship. So I think that would be a huge benefit. And yes, it's interesting that you make that mention. It's the first time that a reigning major champion showed up in India, and that was Bryson. And Rory is back as the Masters champion. Well, not back, but here for the first time. And it's literally back-to-back international events that have major champions, reigning champions here. And that speaks very well for golf and motivating the younger set. That's a good looking
putt.
putt.
Nice one. Yeah, he's got pretty close there. He can still save the par, I guess.
Yes, I think, really here, Swami, I think all these boys are looking at this as a big birdie opportunity. As Shaurya previously mentioned, the host playing downhill obviously gives them a chance to have a crack at the green, and these boys are strong and these boys are long. So definitely couple of the boys in this group who missed the green to the right were not pleased at all because they had literally short sided themselves without much green to work with.
Especially at this level of competition at times, the Shivas, when you know that it is a birdieable hole and you miss a birdie, you often think, oh, you just lost the shot. And, if your rival makes one, that is indeed a big disappointment for them. And, of course, on a course which is giving away so many birdies, dropping a bogey is virtually disastrous. And here's this Brashwar. That's a mouthful of a name, Brashwar Pal Singh.
I believe this should be a birdie opportunity as well because he did hit it further right than Karthik, and,
Left
and
it
he was
too
in the longer
short.
stuff.
Left it too short.
Not a good effort, particularly since he got a sense from Karthik putting before him on this.
Actually, he just didn't give himself a chance out there to even, where they say, never up, never in. So, I mean, leaving it that short.
Well, he did not want to be off because that is pretty quick down there once it catches the slope.
That would be an afterthought, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, these boys are good, and that's not something they think about. They're definitely looking at playing very aggressive golf and not being that defensive and overthinkers. The amount of work these youngsters put in, the self-belief that they have, is because of the preparation.
I'm sure you've already mentioned there is Azad. Now, slides past.
But the good thing is he actually gave himself a chance this
Oh, he
Swami.
did, yes.
It was a good run, missed it by a couple of inches on the left. So good speed, good read.
Shivas, we've over the last few years we've had the southern part of the country around Bangalore has become the golfing hub of sorts. Of course, we've always had in the north Delhi and Chandigarh as being the NCR and Chandigarh being the big ones, and now in south we have a whole bunch of good classy golf courses, which see the PGTI spending a lot of time there on its schedule, and also the women's golf tour. So, I mean, and it's also producing a lot of good players.
This you're absolutely right. It's been going on for a long time. I remember back in the day when Eagleton, which unfortunately now is not hosting any tournaments. That's where young Vijay Devecha, as I called him, coached to solid Indian golfers like Anirban Lahiri, Udayan Mane, Chikarangappa,
Absolutely.
Abhishek Jha, again a Bangalore boy, had set up base, and that kind of set the tone and the precursor for a lot of other good junior golf development programs being set up. And there's a very good program at the KGA and the Bangalore Golf Club.
Actually, there's a lot of activity. I mean,
Yes,
you're so
yes.
right, Shivas.
And I think that's really where it starts from, Swami, when the clubs take ownership and take charge and give the due importance to developing junior golfers and giving an opportunity to also some youngsters who parents may not actually be members of the golf club, but by allowing them in,
That's an
And
important part coming up for Karthik. He's just dropped a shot on the ninth. He wouldn't like to miss that one. A bit of a knee knocker, as I call it. It always gives you a bit of goosebumps
Yep,
there.
there you were. The knees knocked a bit. Well done.
Well, polished it.
Karthik, someone I've always admired his ability to be very deliberate, very thorough, a very set pre-shot routine. Although sometimes he does find himself a bit behind the pace and on the clock.
Yes, exactly what I was about to say. You said it even before I did. That's something that you've got to be careful of these days. So here we are back to Udayan, who begins his back journey on the moving day.
Yeah,
3 under for the front nine.
He's absolutely set to give this a big send, as they call it. Full send. That looked good.
It's rained a lot last few weeks in this area in the southern part. So I believe they're playing with the preferred lies, that is left and clean. So last week, there is the man who shot 31 under in Mysuru. Unfortunately, it wouldn't count as a record because of preferred lies. And this week, with about a round and a half still left, he is already 17 under. That is huge. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets past 25 again this week.
Well, there he is, all set to go. Big, strong lad. Solid. Doesn't seem too happy with it.
I'm sure that's a birdieable hole, and he's looking forward to it. And I hand over the mic to Shaurya. Shaurya, come in, please.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Swami, as we play this game of Russian roulette. The erstwhile All India champion.
Young man from Nepal. Wiry, but generates a lot of club head speed and power.
Yeah, you can see he's got sinewy forearms, so that shows you that there's a lot of strength in the arms. And he too has.
I think he's missed it right. Yep. Yes, it's incredible how we can look at a golfer's swing and the way he looks at a golf ball, Shaurya, and we kind of get a sense with where the head tilts, the ball's going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, as I say, golf is a game of opposites. If you want to hit it high, just hit down. And if you want to hit it low, just hit on top of it. So
you're so right. We talk to so many young players. We tell them even when you're hitting into the wind, don't hit it at maximum. There's more spin, and it's going to not cut through the wind at all. And they just don't get it till they finally do it and understand that. So you're right. It's always a game of opposites. Well said.
It's been an interesting week thus far. We've seen low scores, and Yuvraj leads the pack by 4 shots. But as I said earlier, it's not just the players who are competing. You can also go to ProPix.live, and there's a host of competitions going on there for our viewers, and you can select your favorite players who will hit closest on the par 3, as well as make a birdie on the 18th, if I'm not wrong. And you can go on there, register, and in addition to catching the live action, also have a cute little prize of 5,000 rupees for the winner. So I think you get to see the golf and you go home richer. I can't think of a better combination. Get paid for watching these great guys play.
Back to the golf. And we have this group, the final group going down the 10th fairway. I love these little rock formations. It adds a lot of character. Yes, of course, it can be a bit...
as long as your ball is not in them, I think it's fine from afar. You don't want to be...
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. I was just trying to find the right words to paraphrase that. You summed it up beautifully. But a good designer typically would put these rock formations not in a landing area, or
if I was a designer, I'd definitely do that right in the landing area. Make it a little more sadistic. Give the players something to think about. But of course, that's why I'm just talking about golf and not designing golf courses.
You're quite right about that, because the reality is that when most of the guys who design golf courses, sure, they actually also look at the average club member or the average ability of a golfer. But of course, they don't fly it anywhere within 60 yards of where these boys fly it. So I think that's part of the skill and the risk and reward, as you were talking about.
I think the quickest way to lose your designer credentials is to make the members unhappy. So,
no, you're absolutely right, because I've had the good fortune of spending a lot of time with golf course designers, some good ones, particularly from Nicholas Design, and I've always found that the way they think and they approach, we as laymen, when we walk around, we just pick up certain nuances. Even the way they design the greens, it's always in correlation with the length of the hole, the club that they expect being hit in, whether it's a long par 4 or a short one. That also depends on the size of the green. So it's very interesting. It's a science in itself, and a good designer can, as you rightly said, make or break a course.
Now these are going to be some interesting golf shots coming up. It's also just seeing the scores for day 2. Amardeep Malik as well, who was in fine fettle, so as to speak, has also missed the cut. Shamim Khan, the old warhorse, the highest grossing golfer on the professional golf tour of India. So it's a rare occurrence for him to be sitting out on the weekend.
Interestingly, young Vir Ganapathy, the only amateur to make the cut, has made his seventh birdie of the day and is at
Now this is going to
15
be
under.
quite a difficult shot. He's going to have to use all of his skill to extricate himself and get him to some sort of a birdie distance. I think from here it'll be a good shot to get it anywhere within 20 feet. He needs to keep it down. The ball is well nestled, so I don't know what kind of shot he's going to execute from here.
Yeah, and he's also short-sighted himself.
See there,
He didn't quite get it up.
exactly. It's a difficult hole if you miss it in the wrong place. So this is what a short hole also has these sort of nifty defenses, if you may.
No, absolutely. And again, as we were mentioning previously, Karthik was a little closer to the green in the shorter side of the rough, and you could see his ball, but he could put no spin on it, and obviously hit it about 20-25 feet away because he wanted to make sure he got up the green, up the slope, and didn't short side himself further. But that really wasn't the case here.
Yeah, so he'll have his work cut out if he's to try and make birdie. Somehow has to chip it in. I think at this point in time, par would not be too bad a score after where he was on his drive. Yuvraj, though, able to utilize that lift clean in place that we have in place at this week's tournament, owing to the monsoon conditions. So what this allows you is the player can get up to one club length where he can lift the ball and then place it. So quite advantageous because then you take out the mystery of the lie and you can get a good fair lie each and every time. It's also done in order to preserve the integrity that each player gets a good lie in the fairway.
But I believe this lift clean in place rule, Shaurya, is only on the closely moon areas. It's not in play in the roughs.
Yes, it's of course it's never in place in the rough. So there you'll see he's on the apron around the green, so he's able to utilize that rule. I'm not quite sure what that discussion is. There seems to be some. He has a look of consternation about him. Not quite sure what has befuddled him at this point in time. Maybe the lie or
Maybe it's a slope. He's not able to find a spot where the ball is sitting and not moving.
yeah. So maybe if it's oscillating, that can even cause a little bit of concern in the player's mind.
Sure.
Maybe that's what's happening, or we're just cooking it up. You never know, but that's our job. We have to try and
make it interesting, Shaurya, right?
absolutely. But
No, and also, which something I want to mention to our viewers that at a serious level of golf, as we're watching right now, once you actually have marked a ball, picked it up, placed it back, and picked up a marker, and the ball rolls, then you cannot replace it again. Which I've seen a lot of club golfers actually doing that. So,
golfers can do anything as long as your opponent doesn't see.
well, I'm trying to make sure the opponent sees it and throws his rule at the guy, and we cause a little bit of interest and commotion out there.
Let's see how he does. And I think that was a good enough shot. There has to be something about the lie that is not sort of unbeknownst to us at this point in time, because you see him, he's a lot better. His results from that range are normally a lot better. But
And we also see
Sampath,
Sampath, right? The tournament director, Sampath Chari, a good friend of all of us. He's also there on screen. So he was possibly called in or was involved with what was actually happening with Yuvraj.
Yeah, he's the old war horse, the experienced, knowledgeable, the oracle, Mr. Sampath.
Yeah, he's a delightful individual. I think we've all known him from our early days of playing competitive golf, and he's closing to almost 1,000 events as a tournament director. That's got to be one hell of a feat. Probably world record at some level.
Indeed, that's a good shot by Subhash there.
Now we have Udayan.
What's your take on this shot? It's the first that we're seeing from the other side, and this would turn right left, but not much green. I would think this is not the easiest of shot. You can see that in the trial run, he's really got that club flared open, and
He seems to be also aiming a fair bit right. So he's going to kind of use the slope of the green. No, he's not. That was probably the angle from which we were viewing it.
yeah, but it's a little bit of those tight shots. So the margin for error is not too much, and I think that
He's done a
really
tremendous
nice.
job.
Yeah, tremendous shot. You can see that.
He's pleased.
Yeah, he's liking the appreciation that he's got for that shot. So, not all golf shots are built the same.
Well, not all golfing minds are built the same either, right? A lot of it just comes down to confidence and visualization and then implementing it.
Sometimes it's just a little bit of hit and hope.
Yeah.
And say a little prayer. But not for these guys. They're good. That's why they're right there in the midst of this tournament. the inaugural PGTI Players Championship at the Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort, being led by Yuvraj Sandhu.
This is a tremendous golf course, and there's a lot of traffic that comes in from the Tamil Nadu automobile belt. There are a lot of car manufacturers that have their units there, and there are a lot of Koreans who actually come there and play on the weekend, and they actually do have a great Korean menu in the restaurant as well.
Yeah, also a word about some of our other associate PGTI Tour partners. We spoke about IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank Limited has been redefining banking for the past 30 years and has been a force for progression and innovation. As we have a look for some innovation here on this part, left to right should do it. Roll it right in the heart of the cup. Does he get it?
No,
Unfortunately,
he's let
not
go
so.
by.
After that stellar drive, unfortunately, having to walk away with a par. And
Yeah, he's
Udayan-
definitely going to feel like he let one go on this one, for sure.
yeah, so probably all, some of the factors in golf you can't quite control, and I think those were front, right, and center at that shot. So, Yuvraj Sandhu, maybe his lead would be culled to 3 shots now with Udayan making his birdie. But as I said, I don't want to count any chickens before they hatch. I've done it one too many times, and it's not quite worked out that way. So let's see if he's able to make his birdie.
Well, I think Subhash Tamang is going first, and that's also for a birdie. He had a delightful little chip from the right side.
And coming back to the tour partner, the IndusInd Bank, the bank's product offerings include microfinance, personal loans, debit, credit card, SME loans, advanced digital banking facilities, affluent in NRI banking services, vehicle financing, and innovative ESG-linked financial products. So, for all of you who are looking to level up your financial game, I reckon that you should look at IndusInd Bank. And we've already spoken about Amrutanjan Electro Plus. So, if it's getting a little hot and humid and you need that energy and adrenaline to kick in, then definitely do try the Amrutanjan Electro Plus.
So
We also have Amul, who's partnered with us and powering PGTI Surge, his tour partner Amul, which is India's largest food brand and the 8th largest dairy company globally. And let's just head back to this part. You can see that it does have a fair bit of break from the right.
it's going to, but it's a bit of an uphill putt, Choria. So I think a good solid stroke should do the job. Subhash Tamang prior to this had the downhill slider, and he did very well with that. Good
Well
birdie
done,
there.
right in the heart of the cup. The iconic brand Amul has helped the country emerge as the world's largest milk producer. As they say, you learn something new every day. And so it's a matter of pride. Amul, being a household name in India, will play a pivotal role as tour partner in enhancing PGTI's brand presence. And lastly, Campa. Campa powers your Zid. Campa, the spark behind every Zid. And fuel your Zid with Campa.
It's good to see Campa back on the shelves. It's an old iconic Indian brand, and most of us old boys are very happy to see that back. A bit of trivia for our viewers that the Clover Greens and Greens Golf Course and Resort is PGTI's 52nd venue overall and the 48th in India. And that's really nice to see the PGTI taking the game and the championships to new venues. And next week again we have the PGTI event at Zion Hills, Choria, and that again going to be a first for Zion Hills and a new venue for the PGTI.
Yeah, a lot of new courses as we had a look at Yuvraj hitting that shot. And you can see the players on the Professional Golf Tour of India practice ready golf, and that also helps you save time. So Yuvraj made par. So normally you'd see the player who makes the lowest score hits first. But in order to get things on, the Professional Golf Tour of India encourages ready golf. By that I mean whoever finishes the hole first, you go on to the next tee, and then you hit your tee shot. Helps to save time, that's for sure.
No, and it's huge. It absolutely saves time. You finished off, get on, get to the next tee, and move along. Something which I would love to see a lot of club golfers also follow, because they kind of take honor and everything else surrounding it rather too seriously, and that adversely impacts the pace of play, particularly on weekends where
I think
It's
a
packed.
lot of our viewers would be club golfers, but we won't want you to take affront to that. But it's a fact. I think golf is taken a little too seriously at a level where it should be enjoyed a little more.
Well, surely I was trying to be a little subtle with putting that out there. Thanks for putting my neck on the chopping block.
I think it's gonna get you in a spot of bother, my dear friend, as we have a look at Mr. Olympian. Let's see how he does. Decent shot. Also shows you the greens are holding well.
Very well.
And
very well.
for a lot of the better players, it's almost like a game of darts out there because the golf course is short, so as to speak, by their standards. So it's fairly just a game of target practice on certain shorter holes.
Now we have Subhash Tamang on screen. This is a very interesting hole. As you can see, a short one, a short iron in, with a rock feature, a water body. Very interesting.
While we have a look at the shot, Vir Ganapathy, the youngster, is at 7 under par. So,
And that's for the day, just for the day
yeah,
today.
just for the day.
That's
Kudos to the
tremendous.
young man. I see that his father follows his good shot there as well. His progress quite keenly.
Do follow us for all the live scores on the PGTI website and the social media handles on Instagram.
Yeah, there's you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, where have you, and we're omnipresent, and we'll bring the best ball.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी सिद्धि है। मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद।
Back to the live action. Here we are on the 11th. Yuvraj sizing up his putt. Very interesting to see, Shaurya, that all of these boys headed to the center of the green, didn't go flag hunting with the flag being tucked into the left skinny part of the green. That's an interesting strategy.
Yeah, at some holes you must know where you need to sort of throttle back a little bit. As you can see, the rough around the greens, if you miss it by maybe about 2 or 3 yards, that is rather deep. And from there, you can see it becomes difficult to make up and down. So even though it's a short golf course, you have to be wary.
And especially with the bit of rain that they've been having there, it just makes the rough thicker and juicier and more grabby. But this course I feel has a very European look and feel about it, particularly with the fir Christmas style trees that are lining the fairways in abundance. This is a course that's developed nicely, it's grown well, and it'll certainly bring it out more into the focus with the PGTI event having moved here.
Yes, I think it's only going to go from strength to strength. And what you normally want is that your best players come to the fore. And that has certainly happened. Let's have a look at the top 10. Yuvraj, Udayan, Kshitij call, Karthik Sharma, 5 under for the day. Anshul Kabatiyal, 6 under par for the day. Vir Ganapathy, the amateur, who's playing like a seasoned veteran. He's at 7 under par. While we see Yuvraj hit that putt. And lower down, we have Subhash Tamang from Nepal. We also have Enthanga Raja, 6 under par. He's always in the midst and in the hunt.
Thanga's a very solid player from Sri Lanka. Excellent player.
Yeah, also a piece of trivia. In his previous profession, he was actually used to be a tailor, I believe, and came from humble backgrounds. And you can imagine that golf's such a great leveler, and what an opportunity it provides to everyone. So Thangaraja able to rise from humble backgrounds into one of the golfing forces that he is today.
No, that's just such a great and heartwarming story because you're absolutely right. A lot of golfers sometimes come from humble beginnings. This one's a tailor. A lot of them I know have been caddies in the past, and it just elevates their life significantly, I would say.
Yeah,
And kudos to the clubs that actually support caddy golf and pick out the right talent and offer them the services of a good professional to train them and make them better.
absolutely. As we have a look at Udayan, one of the great things about golf is, as we have a look at that putt, it looks good, but just about missed the putt. Should be a par. The great thing about golf is, as opposed to team sports, you're responsible and sort of for your own performance, and there can't be any favoritism, so as to speak. The results just speak for themselves. At many a time in a team sport, selection can be a big bone of contention.
No, it can be, and it's obviously unenvious task to be in that position for any selector because anything you do can never be right in the eyes of everybody. So yes, you're right. This makes it scores speak for themselves.
And that's why golf is a more predictable career. If you're a good player and you can shoot the numbers, um, you know rest assured that you'll make a good career, you'll make money, and you'll win accolades along the way. So that's one thing that I really like about the game of golf, especially professional longevity. Although, if you see, the game is becoming a lot younger now. The leaderboards only feature players in their 20s, 30s. Rarely do you find seasoned veterans in their 40s winning tournaments, which is a change from yesteryear, owing to the power element of the game now.
No, absolutely, I couldn't agree more. But of course, at a global stage, I've always maintained that golf is a friend for life, because not only can you play it your entire life, but it's also a great meeting spot. Also transgresses age and generations when friendships are built and four balls are set. I recall as a youngster having access to 60-year-olds and 40-year-olds who I thought were fairly old at the time, not realizing I'd be there myself in 40 years.
Yeah,
And now
it's
be mentoring and working with a lot of younger players as well and passing it on.
time does sure fly. Now you have your two boys. They're really good golfers in their own right. I believe they won tournaments on the junior tour, and both of them now pursuing different paths. But they've taken their golfing genes from Daddy Dearest.
Well, I think they've done well for themselves, and that's a very interesting again conversation. A lot of youngsters who play sport, and I'm not limiting it only to golf. I think it just prepares them very well for life, how to deal with situations, life skills, preparation, setting schedules, also kind of meeting and exchanging conversations and ideas with people older than them. Important par putt for Yuvraj. He sent the first one for 5 feet by. Well done.
He needed to make that. That was one of those momentum keepers.
For sure, because that allows him to keep his three-shot lead on Udayan.
And just another update. Vishesh Sharma has reeled off two eagles on the back nine. That is a feat that you don't quite get to see often. An eagle on 12 and another on 15. So he's going great guns today.
But this course has been giving up a lot of eagles on the par fives and some of the par fours, Shaurya. I think it's the wind conditions or the setup.
The wind condition, of course, you see the greens are soft, and playing true putting is also fairly straightforward. Very gentle slopes on these greens and very predictable breaks. So it's been an all in all very fair golf course, and the kind of golf courses that some of the longer hitters really love.
For sure. And as I asked you that question, I also feel on the par fives the fact that you lift clean in place allows them to have slightly better lies and a cleaner strike at the green. Well done, Udayan.
That's a good putt by Udayan Mane. Let's also have a look at the schedule now. We have a jam-packed schedule, an envious schedule if you're outside, and a mouth-watering prospect if you're one of the players on the Professional Golf Tour of India. The tour rolls on over to Zion Hills for another big event, the Kolar Open for 1 crore. And then the Chennai Open, the Golconda Masters, Coimbatore Open, all tournaments offering 1 crore prize money. Then in the month of October, after the festivities, you go on to Bengaluru for 1 crore. And then the DP World India Open at the DLF Golf Club for $4 million. That's a big one with none other than Rory McIlroy. coming to Delhi Golf Club with his green jacket. And, the green jacket reminded me a little bit about Happy Gilmore with the orange jacket, was it? So,
Well, orange sunflower.
I think that's what we have. Shivas, you and I can, and maybe even Mr. Swami can boast of having an orange jacket.
Yes, and we Happy Gilmore 3 we can apply for our little cameos. But I must say, I did enjoy that movie. Well, the golf, well, was a bit questionable, but the cameos certainly made it a great watch.
Mohammad Azhar now. Long putt. All of 25 feet. He's really charged that. 3 feet by. I was surprised that they didn't call you for a cameo. Your trousers are the thing of folklore.
Well, we had my Guruji John Daly having a very significant role in there. He was hilarious, actually, in that movie.
I'm pretty certain that you at some point in time must go meet him. He must know that what an influence he has had on your golf clothing. Very somber dress today, but I've seen those loudmouth trousers, they call it. They're very fancy trousers.
Well, I don't wear them anymore. As I say to my kids and their friends, I used to be a dude, now I'm subdued. But back to the real action here. Yeah. This is a narrow hole. The fairway kind of slopes from the right to the left. And you got to kind of aim at 10 yards left of the right side bunker on the fairway off the tee. It's a long green, water hazard, lining the green on the right.
Yeah, you can see he has very animated movements, almost like he's pouncing on a prey. He's very.
That was that movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah,
it's a bit of shades of that.
You can see he scrunches up into a little ball, then animated. It's also a lot of athleticism to sort of shape shift.
Absolutely. No, and he's a good young golfer. I think he's all of 24 now. Had a stellar amateur career. Played, I believe, on the Junior President's Cup team as well. So a lot of international exposure. Well earned and well deserved, I might add.
Unfortunately, that golf owes you no favors, and that part, unfortunately, not going in the hole. So all that preparation not yielding the result at this point in time, but of course we must try each and every time. Now, Azhar with a much more makeable putt, and post that big event at the Delhi Golf Course, we go on over to Pune Club Open for 1 crore, and then the Trident Open in Chandigarh, the Indian Oil Silver Masters in Digboy, both events also for 1 crore, Jaipur Open for 1 crore, Vishwa Samudra Open at the Delhi Golf Course for 2 crore in the month of December. So it's just raining rupees and big rupees. And then the Sidco Open in Mumbai, your neck of the woods, gentlemen. Then 1 crore. And then the crown jewel, Tata Open for 2 crore.
And that's again interesting. We just spoke about Clover Greens being a new venue, Zion Hills next week being another new venue, and Sidco, which is again a government-owned course in Kargar. That's called Kargar Valley. That's in Navi Mumbai. I play there a lot, by the way. It's a great track. I enjoy it. It was 9 to 10 holes for about 5 to 6 years. Now stretched to 18. And that's quite a beast, Shaurya. That course is about 7,300 from the tips. And it is windy, very windy. So and a lot of water hazards and rock formations, which we were commenting about. That will be a hard press for some of these guys to fly.
That'll be an interesting event. And as we have a look at Brushpal, let's also have a look at the order of merit. Racing ahead and leaving the rest of the field in his wake is Yuvraj Sandhu at 73 lakh 67. But keeping up, as I say, keeping up with the Joneses, Arjun Prasad at 61 lakh, not too far behind. He's in a purple patch of sorts as well. And then Angad Chima, a flamboyant Angad Chima at 56 lakhs. So it's the onslaught of youth.
Yeah, Angad's done very well because he just won the event a couple of weeks ago, which was the season opener for the back nine, as the PGTI calls it, and as well as the closing event for the front nine. So that was back-to-back wins for Angad. And, going back to what we were talking about, it's awesome to see how many sponsors PGTI has been able to bring into the game. It augurs really well for the growth of the game, the sport. And, I think it's now almost a 35 crore tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And that's tremendous. It's really come a long way in the last few years.
As we have a look at this putt by Shaurya, and that comfortably in. Yes, the tour has grown from strength to strength, and there have been many good developments that have happened over the last few years. That's had a snowball effect in the world ranking points and the association with the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and the opening of the tour almost more than half a dozen years, and you've seen the international golfers come in, and so that is a big change. You can actually earn world ranking points on the professional golf tour of India, the top five finishers, and for those of the players who are looking to, as you look at that mesmerizing view, you kind of just lose your trail of thought, and that's why they say golf. What a beautiful sport! Not just to play it professionally, but to have the privilege of just playing golf. I would say that
And I'd say,
definitely worth
Shaurya,
trying.
yourself, Swami, and myself are also fairly privileged. It's a nice Thursday, and we're doing top quality golf at a great golf course and some excellent players. And that's not a bad way to spend a Thursday.
I'd say it's perfect. No, I'm in great company. I don't know about the two of you, but I'll tell you, I have been regaled by the both of you and by the quality of golf that we've been so lucky to witness today.
And now we have on the right side of the screen the party hole, which is part of our spectator contest on ProLink. And so, how it really works on the party hole is that you pick your three ball from the link and pick your player, favorite player in each three ball, and mark them. And there are three contests. The first is, of course, for the player that hits it closest.
I'll also have to call out the fan leaderboard. I thought, why not give it a shot as well? Number one is Karun Vasudeva. Number two is Mr. Rishi Narayan, a name known to all in the golfing industry. Number three is none other than yours truly. I
Uh,
tell you,
and
sometimes I surprise myself.
and I see the top three, and it's pretty cool given the fact that we have a gentleman called Phil Mickelson who's in the fourth place. So
That's good of Phil to take the time out. We'd like to thank him for his patronage of the Professional Golf Tour of India.
And we have our tour commissioner Mandeep Joe lagging a bit behind. Come on, Goni, pick it up. These are all your boys. So how this really works is, there are three levels to this contest, and level one is for the pro that you pick in the group that hits it the closest, and then level two is for the pro that actually has the lowest score on that hole, and could be tied. It doesn't have to be an absolute outright win, and that gives you 2x points. And to get to 3x, it should be a birdie. So that's how you gain more points and have a crack at the package.
But, as I say, it might be beginner's luck for me, Shivas, but
Well, sure, you know your golf. Give yourself a little more credit than that, will you?
well, I definitely do, or so it appears. It's still early days, ladies and gentlemen. Try and beat my pick. We have a look at the Olympian and the party also. Not just one, double the fun. Players walk off here.
And that's Udayan getting after it.
You can see Vir in the foreground. His father also had that course record at Digboy. I remember shot that stupendous 12 under par, and I think that season was 2008 if memory serves me correct, and he was numero uno and had won 4 tournaments, and then as I say, take walk into the sunset. He was number one at that year, and then decided that he wanted to pursue teaching, and golf is better for it. Helping build youngsters. Kshitij now with call, also on hole number 14 in view in the left screen. Hole number 14 is a 310-yard par 4.
I quite enjoy the split screen view, Shaurya. I think it's something that, our viewers should also enjoy. Catching up a bit of the action on both sides, not missing out on anything.
So we're playing alongside Viraj Madappa and Amrit Lal, who's in view.
Yuvraj himself coming back this season after some injuries, Shaurya. Young man puts in a lot of work into his fitness and certainly into his rehab as well. good to see him back.
And you see two balls airborne at the same time. You've seen one touch ground, mayday, and let's see where the next one is. A little to the left, so that would leave him with a long birdie putt on hole number 14.
So 14 is definitely a very interesting hole and makes for great visuals and excitement as well, because there's a lot that just happens around that particular green. So that's young Vir's ball. I suppose that's about 10 feet away on the party hole, right? On
Yeah,
the
that's
18.
on hole number 18.
18, yeah.
We saw Badal also hitting his shot on screen number 1. Let's see where he ends up.
So the 18th hole is, a nice little par 3. The first half of the green is actually fairly open, but the back half of the green is surrounded by some terrific and dangerous rock formations. So, if you're going to go after a flag which is set to the back half of the green, you absolutely make sure you don't miss it right or left. So on the leaderboard, Yuvraj still 3 ahead of Udayan, and a further shot behind is young Kshitij Kaul, who you see on the screen now. And Vir Ganapathy obviously having a tremendous run, 7 under for the day, having moved up 15 spots to occupy the 6th place. And Anshul Kaptial in solid 5th spot. He himself is 6 under for the day, as is Kshitij Kaul.
You can tell a lot about a player from his gait. And you always see Kshitij now with Kaul sort of has this languid, sauntering, relaxed walk. And if you look at somebody like Yuvraj, it's a very driven, aggressive, athletic sort of walk. So it tells you a lot about how a player is thinking as well. They say that your body language is just an extension of how your mind is.
Absolutely. This is Kshitij's personality. And I've actually known him since he was maybe 7, 8, or 9 years old or thereabouts, and seen him in a lot of junior tournaments, and a few of them I was actually tournament director, and his mother Venita would be at the events as well. And he's a delightful young fellow. Well, I've always referenced him as a happy child. Now he's a happy young man. Very affectionate, very good boy.
Yeah, that's a good way to be. If you can be happy while playing golf, then you are fulfilling the most important goal why we start this game. I think many a times when these youngsters, and myself included, when we turn professional, somehow the joy of the game sort of gets taken away from you. You're always focusing on the result, making cuts, making a paycheck. But for those of the players who can stay true to themselves and focus on the reason why they play the game and actually just treat it as a game and enjoy the process, you'd often find that those are the ones that are doing better.
So while one of my favorites, Navid Kshitij Kaul, is lining up his putt, I'm welcoming my colleague, Swami, back into the studio.
Welcome, Mr. Swami.
Thank you, Shivas. Thank you, Shaurya. You're talking about the joys of golf and how when you start making money, or when you're trying to make money, it becomes a bit more serious. I think golf is always serious, isn't it? I mean, whether you're playing as an amateur, which is for fun, and as a pro, if it's for money, the kind of money that PGTI now seems to be offering, 33 crores this season with tournaments all over the country.
You spoke about the joy of making money. It reminded me of one of the best, one of my favorite sayings about money is that if you want to learn how to make $1 million on the stock market, how do you make it? You start with 2.
First you have $1 million, million rupees, and then you make another million.
So getting back to the action.
Hole number 14 there for Kshitij. See, his work ethic, Kshitij's work ethic is absolutely amazing. I think that's what sets him apart from a lot of other people. And here we see him. Birdie.
Shivas just pointed out that the tour has grown, and that has resulted in a lot of these players having a very professional approach to each facet of the game and physicality and even the mental game. Now, I believe all of the players have mental coaches, something that
Yes,
was.
yes, that's indeed so true. You've got these mind trainers as they call it, and of course you've got the physiotherapists and physical trainers, and then there's the mind trainers.
Yeah, because the competition is so stiff and the margins are so thin that you want to ensure that you're capitalizing on every facet of your ability and don't want to leave anything on the table, so as to speak, as they look at young man Vir, a splitting image of his father,
Oh yes,
rather a mirror image. He's a lefty, so. Oh, unfortunate for him to have missed that. Badal on the par 3 14th. As he hit it, leaves it a little short and veers off to the right.
now coming back to Shittage, I still remember during COVID when golf was allowed. I mean, golf was one of the few activities that was allowed. There's a range near Gurgaon where he used to turn up at about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning and spend the entire day. His mom used to come with him, and he used to carry two lunch boxes and a whole basket of fruits. And he used to just hang in there, have food, train, have food, train. It was just amazing. That's the kind of dedication, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago. So Shittage his work ethic is absolutely fantastic.
You know, it's what Ben Hogan said. The answers always lie in the dirt. So you got to put in the hard yards and then you get rewarded. As we get back to the action, let's also have a look at some of the scores. Leading the tournament, the PGTI Players Championship from the Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort is Yuvraj Sandhu at 17 under par. 3 shots adrift is Udayan Mane, Kshitij Navid Kaul. In third position, Karthik Sharma, the left-hander, at 12 under par. Then you have the youngster Vir Ganapathy, Anshul Kabatyal at 10 under par. And joining them on that score is Subhash Tamang from Nepal.
And there's the ball hanging on the lip, and Shitij just waiting to see if it does fall for Shaurya. No, it doesn't. It's just still there.
You know, once he gets to that ball, he has about 10 seconds. And if it doesn't quite go in, then you have to accept
That's
the
it.
outcome.
I mean, a quarter of an inch, but it's still one shot.
Yeah, still one shot. That's the thing about golf. A 330-yard drive and a 1-inch putt are both treated equally on the scorecard. And you know what they say about golf? It's a scorecard, not a postcard. So ain't got to look pretty. Just get the job done. So there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's why you'll find that different golfers with different sort of games often emerge on top. But of course, that is a phenomenon that we're seeing sort of diminish as the years go by. It's become a power sport, and that's why the authorities, the powers that be, have actually decided that the golf ball would be rolled back. And I think that would. What's your thought on that?
On the distance bit?
Yeah.
Like when they started tiger proofing the golf courses, I mean, that's the kind of a thing that had to happen. And today, say for example, this is a golf course which is 6,890 yards, and you're seeing a whole bunch of birdies. So the challenge for some of the professionals is about how to make sure that you keep picking those birdies. It's not even pars. Even pars can actually set you back. So I think they do need to roll back the distance a little bit to make it more competitive.
Let's have a look at that putt. That is not struck from the center of the putter, a little loose on that, so weird off to the right. So that's unfortunate. Would end up dropping a shot. A bogey is a rare sight on this golf course. You just seeing the scorecards
Exactly
peppered
what I
with
said.
red.
I mean, it's not just the birdies, but even pars look at time. At times, the par also looks a little bit of a scary number, and bogey, of course, can spell disaster.
Thangaraja on hole number 18. Thangaraja, loosely translated as Thunder God, is it?
Thanga is gold. Thanga is gold in Tamil.
So King of Gold. I thought it almost sounds like one of those Nordic names, and Thor. So, but as I was
In the meantime, I think Udayan has just picked an eagle on the par 5 12th, and the gap between him and Yuvraj is now just to 1.
Om Prakash Chauhan, 4 under par for the day, and also the winner of the Pro-Am, which was held earlier in the week. We have a look at Mohammad Azhar. And concurrently, we also have a view of our party hole. That's a nifty golf shot from him, maybe about all of 15 feet. Downhill, right, left putt.
And the scoreboard there, Yuvraj Sandhu at 17 under, followed by Udayan Mane at 16, Kshitij at 13, Karthik Sharma 12 under, and Subhash Tamang of Nepal at 11 under.
A little bit more comfortable shot for the left-hander here. The hole really does lend itself to a nice draw for the lefty. I look for this to be close. Can just stand at the center of the green and try and draw it back. Doesn't have to flirt with missing the green. Anything on the right of that spine is okay, so you're on the correct level. Let's see how this ends up for him. Yeah, he's hit a good shot. He's about 20 feet with an uphill putt. So good shot by Karthik.
That was a par 5 where Yuvraj got a par and Udayan picked an eagle. And that meant a lot of distance between them is now just down to 1 shot.
Pressure Paul. As the proceedings get underway today, we see that a total of 48 players are under par today. So it's a feast of birdies. Rashid Khan, surprisingly, in at 49th position, only at 1 over. So out of character for Rashid to not be in red numbers. But we are all allowed the odd off week. With the kind of game that he has, you can expect him to shoot low tomorrow. He's always had the penchant to bounce back strong. And that's the mark of a true champion, is how you react to adversity. Some of the good rounds lower down. We have Bipin Mukhia, 2 under par. We have Pukraj Singhil, prodigious ball striker. Pukraj, 2 under par. Shubham Narayan, the winner of the Q School. It's really good to see him here. He's at 4 under and 4 under for the tournament. So I personally am very happy to see that. Shubham, also the son of an army officer and fine gentleman. And displaying the kind of form that he has the ability to do so. It's nice to see that. And you have Varun Parekh at 4 under par. Angad Chima, 5 under par total. Jamal Hussain from Bangladesh, 4 under. K. Prabhakaran from Sri Lanka, the winner of the All India Amateur Championship back in 2006 or 7. I'm not quite certain, but I played that one alongside him. Viraj Madappa, 6 under par. So it's a lot of good names on that leaderboard. As we have a look at the party hole. And is that going to be a party? Not quite. That should be a par.
Who did you pick on that hole?
Not quite certain. Whatever I did, it's turned out well. I'm on that leaderboard and I'm third on it. So all my wild cards have done well. But mind you, we have the competition of Phil as well. So
I know. I mean, I was surprised. Phil Mickelson tuned in to compete against you.
Well, we speak in jest. I'm pretty certain that's an alias, but
Good fun there.
If it's not, then you never know. Phil is a person who is one for putting money on sports. He likes to do that, so you never know.
He does. But except that, don't tell him how much it was for.
It's the journey, not the destination, and that destination was missed by a very small margin by N. Thangaraja. And Udayan Mane has made an eagle on hole number 12, breathing down the neck of Yuvraj. Now, Yuvraj holds only a slender one-shot lead, so it can show you how fortunes can turn in the
Exactly.
game of golf.
That was a hole which made a two-shot swing. A par for Yuvraj and an eagle. An eagle 3.
Karthik now, not too far away either. It's at 12 under par. And the way this is going, this tournament could well reach the early or mid 20 under par. It could be won at about 24, 25 under par.
Absolutely.
The way these golfers are going.
Last week, remember, it was 31 under.
Yeah, Yuvraj, stellar performance by him.
It's been a while since he picked up a birdie. Last 4 holes have been par for Yuvraj. I'm sure he's feeling left out of the party. And in the last 4 holes, Udayan Mane has picked 2 birdies and an eagle.
Yeah, Udayan Mane has that penchant for making birdies in droves. When he's a momentum player, he makes one, then he often makes more than 2 or 3 on the trot. So, can have a devastating effect if you're the leader, if you see somebody behind you really making so many birdies. But of course, these guys are thoroughbred good golfers and seasoned players. Yuvraj more than the others. We also have Vishwa Pratap Singh Gill in at 9 under par total. Vir Ganapathy, the youngster Vir, has had a brilliant round of 8 under par today. So what a round. Pressure Pal here, just coming up short.
I must say, when you spoke about last week we had Rakshit Dahiya in the top 10. So there are, all these players, young players coming up with good scores, these young amateurs. So I must say that the future of Indian golf is in pretty safe hands. A lot of new faces, new winners, and of course, Yuvraj Sandhu is just piling on the trophies in his cabinet in the meantime. But nevertheless, a lot of young faces actually making the competition even more intense.
Yes, it is the onslaught of the youth on the Professional Golf Tour of India. And for those of you who are just tuning in at this point in time, we'd like to welcome you to the PGTI Players Championship from Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort. This tournament offers a prize fund of rupees 1 crore and is the 15th tournament on the PGTI calendar year. This year has seen a surge in tournaments and prize money. And one of the players capitalizing on that is Yuvraj Sandhu. Now we have Hosur. We saw him hit that good shot off the tee. Let's see if he can capitalize and make a birdie. And that just about skirts the hole. So not this time. Mohammad Hosur currently at 9 under par. So not really in the running to win the tournament. But can still walk away with some world ranking points and a handsome check.
With the scores being so low, don't even discount a 7 or an 8 hole, 8-shot margin. These guys are actually shooting 9 and 10 under over the last couple of weeks.
In another update, we had Shaurya Bhattacharya, who had his struggles on the front nine with bogey on 8, 9, and 10, but showcasing a brilliant comeback. He's birdied 10, he's birdied 11, he's eagled the 12th, and he's birdied 13. So in a span of 4 holes, he's gone 5 under par. So that's the kind of golf that he's capable of producing, and that's why he's a winner on tour. Pressure now cleaning up for his par. And we have a look at the party hole. hole number 18. The top 60 is a number that many players vie for, especially those who are just from the outside looking in. You
That's
expect
true.
this year it's going to be very
It's
competitive once again.
absolutely.
Look at that golf shot! What a beauty!
Yes, indeed. But still, I mean, the view on the cameras, yes, it's very close, but I think it's a bit distant on that party hole. Interesting, a par three finishing hole.
Yeah, that's rather unique, and that's one of the things that adds more character to this golf course. I'm getting that in. A little bit of a horseshoe, so as to speak, but nevertheless.
So I think Yuvraj has finally picked another birdie there. I think his fist bump suggests he's happy finally after a long while.
Yeah, he'd like to. That door currently is ajar, but he'd like to seal it shut. He'll have to make a lot more of those birdies if he has to stave off Udayan and the rest of the pursuers. The order of merit: number 1, Yuvraj Sandhu, Arjun Prasad, Angad Chima, Joshua Berry from England. And you have Sachin Besoya, Udayan Mane, Om Prakash Chauhan in at 7th, Khalin Joshi, Abhinav Lohan, Saptak Talwar, and Shaurya Bhattacharya rounding up top 10. My guess is that, after having gone through almost more than half of the tour, uh, only the top 5 are in with a realistic chance to usurp Yuvraj. Otherwise, it looks like at this point in time a 3-man race.
You just mentioned Arjun Prasad. Just add a bit about him. He's been very, very consistent.
Now I'd be taking a little bit of a break from commentary duties, and the flamboyant Mr. Shivasnath will be joined.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्यास के लिए.
Hey, Shivas, after that electro fluids and the camper, it's action time again on the 14th, where we have Yuvraj coming after coming fresh off a birdie on the 13th, which again puts the gap at 2 between him and Udayan. Must be a little satisfying for Yuvraj, who's not had a birdie for 4 holes before that. He's still bogey free, of course. I hope there's no commentators curse there.
Well, certainly things heating up, Swami. Then now just a couple of shots behind Yuvraj, and it's going to be fun to watch these guys go at it.
And on the right side, you've got the party hole there. There it is, just stopping at the lip.
I like the idea of this new party hole and this new contest that we are running.
A contest
very-
within a contest, isn't it?
Absolutely, very engaging, and it's good to see as many contributors or participants in that contest. And while we have the feed live on the screen, it's really awesome to have two screens or within the major screen, and that really augurs well for keeping it interesting and covering a bunch of groups. So I hope many of our viewers are tuning in and joining the contest on the party hole. And for those who've tuned in later, it's a great little contest. You get points for picking your favorite player in each three ball in each flight, and whoever hits it closest to the hole, they get a point for that. Of course, that should be a selected player, and then again, having the low score on the hole gets you another point, and a birdie another point. But of course, all of this is related to the player you picked. So a lot of engagement, a lot of activity, a lot of our regular golfers, veteran golfers, fans tuning in and making their choices. Back to the 14th hole. A lot of activity there on this par 3. The leader group right there. We saw Udayan tee off, and then Yuvraj, and now followed by Young Tamang. That's a great little shot he's hit. Terrific. And in the meantime, we have young Vir Ganapathy, who has moved to 8 under for the day, finishing up his round, birding the last hole, and that's a tremendous effort by the young man. A very prolific winner on the amateur tour, and having shot a tremendous 8 under today. Moved up 15 shots today to now be sitting in tied 6th place with Anshul Kaptial, who himself is at 6 under for the day, with 1 hole to go.
The birdie on the 16 showed up just now. So he's had actually an 8 under round today. Finished actually par, including on the party hole.
Well, he could have actually, he had hit a very nice tee shot, so it's a pity that the young man missed his putt there. On the left side of our screen, the 14th hole. It's a beautiful par 3. We saw the players playing from the tee, which is in the center of your screen now, and this hole has an expanse of water that covers down the right side, and definitely a very gutsy effort.
All 3 guys are on the green and they all have a chance. I mean, that's the beauty of this golf course, is that it affords everybody a chance on most of the holes, which is why we've been seeing birdies all over the place.
And also the softer greens, Swami, allow them to get more aggressive because the ball doesn't run out a whole lot. So the greens receive the balls exceedingly well. And this particular hole, the 14th, there's usually a breeze from the right. So, it kind of makes for a very interesting tee shot because you got to aim it down the center or the right side, which is the larger expanse of water, and then, ride the wind if you can hit a draw, or fight the wind if you're hitting a fade into the flag.
To bring the attention back to the scoreboard, it seems Yuvraj and Udayan have kind of separated themselves from the rest of the bunch, with Kshitij, Karthik, and Subhash Tamang at 12 under.
Yes, Kshitij bogeyed this hole just prior to them. So that's obviously dropped him down to 12 under.
That's it. If you can't get a birdie, make sure you just go away with a par. Because each time you bogey, you could actually be giving away more than a shot, because all your rivals are actually looking at something better than even a par. So actually on a golf course which is yielding such a lot of low scores, a bogey is always very scary.
Speaking of which, Joshua Seal from Africa, he's also put in a 8 under round today, Swami, and that's again a terrific effort. solid 63. So definitely some low scores in there today. Now we have Udayan. I believe he's left that a little bit short. Online, absolutely online. You see the ball right there, center. It was breaking left to right.
Actually, we've had more than a few instances of the ball stopping right at the top of the hole. I mean, the green speed is about 9.3 today.
And this is a very comfortable pace. 9.3 is a good speed, very manageable, and particularly good on this set of greens because these greens have a bit of contour. So anything higher than that, and if the wind gets up, then that makes it particularly difficult. So I think great setup by the tournament director and the course superintendent and his team. Now we have Yuvraj having to make a birdie to take his lead back to 3, which made it all the more important for Udayan to hit his putt a little bit more, a little stronger to kind of narrow it down to a shot and put a little more pressure on Yuvraj. This itself is, a very pretty golf course,
Oh, yes.
Swami. I love the trees, the fir-lined trees. Gives it a very international look and feel. And great weather, of course, to boot. So that makes things a lot better. Well done,
There
Yuvraj.
it is, another birdie.
And with that, he takes his lead back up to 3. This boy is not going away. Battle of the big boys.
That's right. I mean, if there was a surge from Udayan Mane, it's now time for a surge from Yuvraj.
And Yuvraj will be playing some very solid golf all year long. In fact, he's had a tremendous junior and amateur career as well, leading up to this point. And he's very focused to get his spot in the DP World through the PGTI.
If you remember a couple of years ago, the year when Manu Gandas topped the order of merit, Yuvraj seemed to be leading all the way. And then towards the end of the season, virtually in the last quarter of the season, Manu won a bunch of events and overtook Yuvraj. And I think this year, that's why Yuvraj wants to make sure that the lead is pretty big even before, the closing stages come. And he also wants to play outside internationally. He wants to look at the possibility that if he needs to go for the Q school, he is ready to do that. He is ready to put in all the work that he needs to. He wants to go everywhere, tries not just his luck. He's been working a lot. He's worked on his physical fitness in the off season and on his game. Gone back to Jesse Grewal. So he's actually put in a lot of work.
He's a very good lad. Puts in a lot of work into his fitness as well. He's strong.
And I
big.
wonder if you saw his father. He's there today.
Oh, that's nice to see that his
father
there.
was there.
Yes,
I just saw him at one of the early holes.
His father's been, obviously, as any other father would be, very supportive, but he's also very participative, and it's good to see him show up at several events where Yuvraj has been doing very well. So it's a very good, close-knit group and a lovely family. Interestingly, I was just looking at the scorecard of Joshua Seal. He shot an 8 under today with 2 bogeys.
Wow.
He's had 8 birdies and an eagle and 2 bogeys. It's a very interesting scorecard. And the bogeys, of course, were back-to-back bogeys.
So on the front line, he had only 2 pars, the first and the 9th. That's it.
Well, I can make more pars than him. I don't know about the birdies and the eagle.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, this is a nice backstop that they have at the back of the green because it's a 200-plus yard hole, and sometimes when you're into the wind, it's fairly brutal. So, again, we were talking about golf course design. This is good design because you have water in the front, so you don't want to short side yourself. So it's always nice from a design perspective to have a little backstop to give you some relief.
If you've noticed, Brushman has actually left quite a few of his putts short. I wonder if he's a bit scared of overshooting them and leaving a lot of for the comeback putt. This has been the second or the third time he has actually left himself short. And when you are in the 2 to 3 foot range, sometimes you can't take it as a given. There is Kshitij coming towards the end of his third round, the moving day. So Yuvraj was one shot ahead on the first day, two on the second day, and now after the third, he's 3 shots ahead. So he is moving a little by little, so one shot by every day.
He's just been playing some very solid, consistent golf, nothing flamboyant, keeping it there, hitting the putts close enough, and where he can get after a flag, he gets after it. Obviously, the guy's got tremendous length, and that can't hurt on any golf course. So 16th, of course, is a solid par 4. It's a long hole. Basically, you have to hit it down the center. The roughs actually sit above the fairway line, as we can see on the screen. So that kind of, also helps. A slightly wayward drive that doesn't get away, or sometimes if you're lucky enough, or the course is playing firm, bounces back towards the fairway. So definitely a hole that, puts a lot of premium on your ball striking into the green, because the green is a large green. So being on the green is just not good enough. You have to be hitting it a lot closer to give yourself a legitimate birdie opportunity.
There's a pensive look.
The putt there. These rock features also kind of do quite nicely when you kind of have them as visuals. And if you're lucky enough, you don't get a nasty bounce off one of those with a really shot. Some visuals of our players, a lot of expressions, emotions, happy faces, penchant faces. And back to Kshitij. Hole number 16. He's going to try and chip this in for his birdie.
There it is. Actually, Yuvraj and Udayan have fed off each other. I was just looking at the scoreboard. Only 3 holes. Otherwise, 11 of the 14, at least one of them has birdied it or eagled it. So that's actually, if they were playing as a team, they really would have killed it by now. Not that they're not killing it right now.
And both of them walking down the fairways together is a bit of an imposing sight, isn't it? Given their
Oh, yes.
presence. Good chip there from Kshitij. It's pretty much a gimme, but he's going to have to make that.
Actually, for Mane, this is quite an important week in the sense that it's been a long time since he actually got into the winner's circle. It's been a while. His last win actually came at the Tata Steel Tour Championships in 2021. And since then, he has been looking for his next win. He's represented India at the Asian Games in 2014. In fact, I remember seeing him in Incheon. He came pretty close to a medal there. I think he finished 5th or 6th or something of that sort. An absolutely fabulous player. And of course, he played at the Olympic Games. There is Shaurya Bhattacharya.
Shaurya, I believe, has a look at birdie, as does his playing partner. It's nice to have a look back at the fairway and see the undulations down this nice and wide fairway. Keeps it creative, keeps it interesting, and certainly tests the knowledge and the technique of our tour members. Back to the party hall on the right side of the screen. It's a good looking shot, feeding down towards the hole. Very, very nice effort.
But it's also the good camera work. I mean, he caught the full ball flight.
Yes, it takes a special skill for the cameramen and the production team to catch the ball flight, and that just makes it so much more fun for the audience. So it's good to have a good team bringing us our telecast.
And the other thing is the scroll that you find at the bottom of the screen has a lot of information on it.
It's a very interesting course, Swami. While you approach it from Bengaluru airport, it's about an hour away, as we know. More than half the fairways are in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
The clubhouse is in Tamil Nadu, and then there's still about a third of the golf course that is across the border in Karnataka. So the the mobile phone has an absolute field day, because by the end of your round, you have about 7 or 8 messages welcoming you to either Tamil Nadu or Karnataka.
Indeed, interesting. So Shaurya picks up a shot there, I think. It's been a great back nine for Shaurya, who, after dropping 3 shots in a row on 7, 8, and 9, has been on a run on the back nine with birdies on 10 and 11, eagle on 12, birdie again on 13 and 15. And I think it was another one on 16 too. So Shaurya making a big charge now on the back nine. I think the good thing is that these players are actually they're just not giving up. With so much of money at stake, order of merit, and so much else.
That's another tremendous tee shot on the 18th. Looks like there's some gorgeous weather out there.
Oh yes, it's overcast. I mean, you can see that. I mean,
Yes.
There's no shadows on the greens, and it's quite a nice atmosphere, I would say.
Of course, also, very well prepared. Fairways are lush green. It seems to be a bit still today. If you look at the trees in the backdrop, there isn't much movement, and very little movement on the flag also on the greens. So while the action is out there, it's a good time to talk about our tour sponsors. We have Rolex, and it's obviously an honor for any tour to be acknowledged and in line with Rolex. That itself is a testimony to the tour and the quality of the product that the PGTI is putting out there. Rolex, of course, has been associated very closely with the big three of golf. That's Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Gary Player. So we thank Rolex for their sponsorship and patronage. It's good to have Amul on board. Amul, an absolute giant in dairy products, and we've all grown up in every household enjoying their cheeses and their butters and their milk, among several other products. I particularly enjoy their choco bars and ice creams as well. Victoria's Choice, a unicorn in the financial sector, inspired by the philosophy of Choice International Limited. Tremendous hospitality zones for the players and the player lounges that they have introduced this season. A big shout out to Victoria's Choice and my friend Rahul Mehta, who heads their efforts. A big thank you.
And on the left side of the screen on hole 14, Udayan is checking out his putter as to why it stopped. The ball stopped a few inches short of the cup.
And this is again the second time back to back he's done that. It looked like it was
Yes.
tracking online, and still came up a couple of inches short. In fact, on the last hole, it was just an inch off.
Very clearly, I mean, despite the number of birdies, the greens still have a few mysteries.
It was interesting to see Udayan, looking at the face of his putter, because if conditions are typically wet, sometimes what happens is a bit of a loose granule or piece of sand can come and stick itself to the face of the putter, and sometimes that kind of obviously takes away the direction and the speed on a putt.
It's another chance there for Yuvraj. He can pull away even further. The way he's been putting, he knows that this is a good chance to get to become to enter the 20s.
On the party hole, we had Rohan Dhole Patil from Pune, a terrific amateur golfer, was India number one for a while, and now has been a professional, I think, for about 5 years. He's doing very well.
Just as Yuvraj misses out on that possible birdie just by a whisker, here it's Shaurya coming in to take the mic.
Thank you for that, Mr. Swami. As we have a look at Yuvraj with this short putt.
No mistake there. Dead center. No problem. And onwards to Subhash Tamang. Subhash Tamang himself, a terrific ball striker, all the way here from Nepal. Former All India champion.
Nepal has produced quite a few good golfers. There's also Sukra Bahadur Rai and quite a few others as well.
On the right side of the screen, Rohan Dhole Patil making no mistake with his par.
What I've liked most is how Yuvraj has been able to answer Udayan's eagle with 2 birdies of his own, and able to sort of put light between him and Udayan. Now he has a 3-shot lead again. Really exemplifies the kind of player that he is. Doesn't quite back down from a challenge. In fact, revels in it.
Absolutely. And the last couple of holes, Shaurya, as we saw, Udayan has left both his putts short, both makeable birdies, both the putts short, bang on line. And that could be the difference right there, where Yuvraj has, made birdies and Udayan has failed to do so.
It's interesting to note that Yuvraj is 50 under par over his last, I think, 120, 122 holes. So he's 50 under par. It's almost a birdie every alternate hole.
Alternate hole, that's a terrific stat to put out, Shaurya.
It's probably about
Just
0.46 birdie per hole. So it's like every 10 holes he's making 4 birdies or something like that. It's just frightening how good he is. It's really something. Especially when he is on song, it's just a sight to behold. I think the last time I was this excited by an Indian golfer, I remember when I used to compete against Gaganjeet Bhullar and Anirban Lahiri. And to be honest, I was always more impressed by the strike quality of Gaganjeet Bhullar. It always felt like he had more in the tank, and he had that swilken touch. And he's amassed so many victories, of course, that Anirban has had more flavor to his career. But both of them are just really good golfers. And, that's the kind of game, similar kind of, if you look at Yuvraj, the same compression, the way the ball comes out. So, great future.
No, for sure. It's pure, it's clean, and the sound is different.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about. The sound, when it comes off the club, very few players have that different sound each and every time.
I couldn't agree more with you. Years back, I followed Gaganjeet at the Kenya Open. I think that back in 2019, and I was there on a personal holiday and timed it with the Kenyan Open. And kids and after the round as well, Gaganjeet was most gracious, signing their caps, giving away golf balls. Of course, I requested Gaganjeet to use it. He was very happy to finish signing his card and come out. Those kids were shocked with his quality of ball striking. So, definitely.
Having played a lot of amateur golf, a little bit of pro golf alongside him, I know that he's golf. Also, at the end of the day, I know we really espouse the quality of hard work, but there are some things in life. As we have a look at glimpses of today, beautiful. There are some things in life which are innate, which you must build on. Somebody who's talented at sport, you can't take that away. Somebody like Gaganjeet Bhullar, he has that ball strike, that penchant for that strike it's really something else.
And speaking of ball striking, I've seen Anirban Lahiri, who's pretty much the flag bearer for Indian golf currently, and I'm sure in the near future there will be guys who will emulate him and perhaps do better. But he just makes it look so easy. His swing, his timing, tempo, just so relaxed.
You come out to hole number 18, and that's a decent shot on party hole. So getting set for the party on hole number 18. Yes, absolutely. And what Anirban has is something that I think he has a gift that not many golfers I've ever seen. He has the penchant for going low. That is something that you really have to witness a sight to really understand what I mean. I go back to I harken back to almost a decade ago that he was playing or more. He was playing on the PGTI tournament in JP. He shot 4 over on the first day and a 12 under. So it just shows you that from a day where it's not going his way,
right,
he can turn it around in such a fashion that not many on the face of this planet who played golf can, to be honest.
No, you're absolutely right. Once he's in flow and he's got his momentum going, I've seen him shoot a 10 under par at Kalhar, and it wasn't a tournament. He was actually playing with 3 youngsters, a couple of whom are actually in the field today. Because the other thing that I admire about Anirban is the amount of time he has for youngsters and spends time with them and shares his experience with them. And he was very much focused on helping them. And it was a flawless 10 under that I witnessed with an out of bounds on 1 hole. So typically, you're absolutely right. That's how good he is.
Yeah, for those of you watching us, I'd also like to tell you a little bit of a story from my experiences of Anirban. And as you'll have a look at Arjun Prasad and Prasharpal. Arjun Prasad on the party hole would be looking to start this party. He's currently at 9 under par, maybe get to 10 under par and end the day at double digits. So still psychologically, if you're 10 shots away from the lead, it's still, you can motivate yourself that maybe I shoot a 12 under par and win this thing.
Right.
So I remember that when we were amateurs, Anirban Lahiri actually relocated to a village outside and in Bengaluru, close to Eagleton Golf Resort, and lived almost in the wilderness for like a year, and just honed his skills. And that's something that I really thought was out of the ordinary. That just leaving home, staying away from the family, living in a remote place, but shows you that if you really believe in your ability. As we have a look at that ball just coming off to the right hand side. If you believe in your ability and
you dedicate yourself as well, and have a good
you got to sacrifice, and you make you put yourself out there and endure those hardships. If you have what it takes, it'll come out, sir. Like a diamond in the rough. He
certainly is.
Yeah,
he certainly is. And he's played a great role model to a number of young Indian players, and good for him. He's relocated now to Dubai, gives him a lot more access to the game globally, rather than just being located in the US where he was for a while.
It's good. He's a flag bearer of Indian golf, and so are these youngsters on our screen. Youngsters is a term I use loosely. As the years roll on,
it's all relative, sure. It's all relative.
As the years roll on, you realize that father time doesn't quite hold on. What was youth once becomes middle age rather quickly. So make the most of your days, and no better way than to watch the PGTI, the Professional Golf Tour of India, the best golfers that you have on the continent right in front of you. And even otherwise, I would really implore you to go play golf. Even if you want to play on the weekends, or if your children or wards or anybody else, just expose them to the game of golf. I think it's
Good to see Brashpal Singh on the leaderboard and lingering around this
that's
week.
good. I thought he had that.
You call that too soon. It was indeed a good chip, a very good chip.
Yeah, it's just got done right at the end by the cup, maybe a millimeter to the left, and he would have not had to.
Yeah, ball would have seen some darkness. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So now you still have to get the putter out and clean that up, so as to speak. It's interesting. Hole number 15 has yielded a lot of birdies. I'm just seeing Udayan Mane, Karthik, Subhash Tamang, Yuvraj. It's almost that out of the top 15, we have over 10 birdies on that also. A lot of birdies here.
Yeah, the 15th is, a drivable par 4. So, no surprise, like the 10th hole too, that yielded a lot of birdies and largely plays downwind and is a fairly big green. But then, of course, to hit the ball, find the right slope, right direction, it's a task in itself. 16th, of course, a longer and stronger hole.
So this golf course, even though that length is really not an impediment here, we've still again seen the longer hitters do well. Yuvraj Sandhu, Udayan Mane, Karthik Sharma as well. But Kshitij Navid called prodigious ball striker. Vir Ganapathy, the youngster, can pack a punch, believe me. As we have a look at Arjun, who's had an underwhelming shot on the party hole. Let's see if the chip can be better. That's a fairly decent chip, and he should be able to make that and would remain at 9 under.
You're right, Shaurya. That was a bit of a surprise to see him, because this isn't a particularly long hole, isn't a particularly strong hole. In fact, it's a bit of a strange par 3 to end your round.
Yeah, it's sort of a narrow green, so as to speak. But it is a par 3. You're not quite certain if you're attacking it, or it'll be a lot more interesting tomorrow to see what happens where the players are. So, but I think on a final hole somehow takes out a little bit of that element of risk and reward, because on the final hole a lot can be determined by the drive. So here that factor is not there. It's just an iron shot, so maybe a little easier for the leader to secure his lead.
I would agree, but today we're seeing the flag in the first half of the green, and we see that slope on the right side of the screen. I can assure you tomorrow for the final round, the flag will be at the back, and it is surrounded by rocks. So wayward shot is going to get penalized.
Another thing we've seen on the professional golf tour of India over the last 4 or 5 years, that the case of nerves is rarely so. It's rarely exhibited by the players now. I remember from my time, when we would be in the second leader group or something like that, you'd feel sweaty palms, but not anymore. These players are sort of trained on every facet of the game. They're almost like gladiators out there. They're very certain of themselves, and they know that they have a job at hand, and more often than not, sort of stick to their routine and get it done.
You're absolutely right, because now the mental preparedness is a large part of the training and grooming for the players. It's just not about playing golf swing. You've got to learn to keep it cool, keep it calm in your head. There are experts out there helping them. You have to play golf, and that's about just making it happen regardless of whether you have it on that particular day or not, and staying even keel, minding your own business, getting along with it without spending too much time looking at your competitors. So things certainly hotting up in general at this event.
Yeah, it's been a birdie fest thus far. As you have a look at Ravi here at hole number 8.
And Yuvraj has moved to 20 under as we speak. Now he's 8 under for the day.
This is
And
brilliant.
he's 3 ahead of Udayan.
It's like a freight train.
Absolutely.
It's like a freight train, and he's on a one-way destination to the victory.
3
And
back-to-back birdies.
Interesting to note that Udayan is also keeping step. He's a worthy competitor, is Udayan Mane.
Yes, I'd certainly like to see Udayan get a couple of birdies. He's just barely missed out, and that would certainly make for a much more interesting finale tomorrow.
We see Brashpal here giving this a fair bit of attention. It's not really a knock-in. Have a look at that. He's assessing the break again. This is what they call the aim point technology. There's been quite a few variations to that, the aim point express, and so on and so forth. So
There's also something called vector, I think, which is what Bryson DeChambeau used to follow in his earlier years. Very similar to aim point, where the eyes can deceive you based on the contours on the green, but the feet typically don't.
I think he was able to dot the I's and sort of what it is, cross the T's. So everything's perfect. He was able to get that in the hole. You can see that he was a happy camper. And Arjun Prasad, a rare sight, a bogey on this hole. Very few bogeys, and unfortunately, he's one of those that will have that blemish on the scorecard, so would end at 8 under par.
So, sure, this would delight you. A bit of trivia. Both the boys on our screen were wearing literally the same shirt, but in different colors. See, there you go. That's where fashion sense kicks in.
Oh, yes, I have a keen eye, a connoisseur of fashion. I would say that
there will be several who will disagree.
Yeah, we'll say we have our own sense of fashion, which is very, colorful fashion for golf. I think we all have a different attire for golf. They say that players, gentlemen and women alike, they dress the best for golf.
I couldn't agree more with you. I just wear a basic navy blue or a black t-shirt with jeans to work, but if I know I've got golf, my clothes are very nicely matched and laid out the evening before.
For all our viewers watching us, I think one of the most important things, especially for professionals, that also interests you is your clothing. You take equal interest in that as well. That's a very integral part of your whole outfit, if you may. It's like almost your
personality. It's like a personality.
Yeah.
It's an extension of your personality.
I would go in further to think it's like a uniform, because it gets you in the mode that these are my tournament clothes. Tournament clothes are very separate from daily clothes. They're a separate entity altogether.
You're quite right.
Something has happened here. We need the referee. Now, what could be? What's my guess is that maybe the ball has oscillated a little more than what Lohan expected, and now he's just calling the referee for some clarification. That's the only thing that could necessitate the entry of a referee.
And then, of course, we have Yuvraj on the left side of the screen, giving it a heave-ho at the 16th hole, the par 4.
Telling sign of a great ball striker is the divot. You saw a sizable divot come out there.
Great shot. Look at that, Shaurya. You were right. He's like a freight train. He's not going away anyway. He's just building on it.
And flag high. That's the mark of a true player, is if you flag high. I'm rather impressed by the referee just being there at hand. Got to say that he's Greece lightning.
No, but that's something which I truly believe the PGTI does a wonderful job. Their team of officials, referees, tournament director, marshals. They've built on a lot of experience. They do it very well. They're very polite, even with their speed warnings, and of course, till they need to be. And that's said and done. The players have the highest amount of respect for the officials, and that's awesome as well.
Let's have a look at hole number 16. Another shot coming on. I think that could be Subhash, if I'm not wrong. And decent shot right there, 15 feet right.
Yeah, that's a great shot. It's just that Yuvraj's shot makes that look very ordinary.
Yeah, but he's also flag high. So
absolutely,
that's what I like. A shot that is flag high.
Yes.
And for all our viewers who are just watching golf, if you can be flag high, that's one of the most important things. I think you're ahead of 99% of all the people who play pro golf. It's from, who play golf, if from over 150 yards, you're flag high, maybe 80% of the time you're ahead of 99% of the people who play golf, because it's so difficult to get a center contact on your mid to long irons.
And there's also a tremendous amount of face control and distance control, because there are several elements out there, like the weather conditions. It's obviously heavy air or light air, altitude, which way the wind is blowing, the firmness of the greens. There's so many variables.
I think all worked out well for Abhinav Lohan. And I have a feeling that Yuvraj will make this as well. That's a fairly makeable putt, maybe all of 10 feet and breaking from his right, which is a little easier for the right-handed player as opposed to a left to right putt, especially when the greens are rolling at a considerable, not too fast, not too slow, at a good comfortable speed of 9. These are the easiest putts to hold. Just leave it a little bit outside right and make sure to keep the speed up, and should find the bottom of the cup.
We're very interested to see where Udayan has hit his second shot on the 16th, because he did birdie the last hole after 2 near misses on the previous 2 holes. So for Udayan to remain within touching distance, as we referenced earlier, it'd be nice to see him creep up a little bit on Yuvraj. party hole on the green. This group vacates itself and makes way for the following group, which has Kshitij Navid Kaul, Badal Hussain, and Shaurya Bhattacharya. So come on, let's have a little friendly wager between you and me, Shaurya. Who's your pick for this hole? And I'll pick one as well.
Well, I think I went with my namesake. It was pretty easy. I think I chose him. I'm
Okay.
not
So well,
certain.
that's a good pick, and it was almost predictable. Let me go with Kshitij then.
I think I went with Kshitij. I'm not too certain.
Okay, we clear the slate. We scrub it.
Okay, so I went with Kshitij if I'm not wrong.
All right. So I'll go with Shaurya then.
Let's see how that works out.
So either way, one of the Shauryas wins, right? So I still go home a winner.
Absolutely. So this is definitely an interesting addition to this tournament. Another thing that happens in the heat of competition, when you're to sleep on a lead after third day, if you're leading a tournament, you do have a case of nerves. Sometimes they say that it's easier to be the one, the pursuer, rather than the leader.
But as you were mentioning a couple of hours ago into our telecast, Yuvraj been a terrific front runner.
Yeah.
So in his case, very unlikely he's going to give up the lead, and it seems quite likely he'll have a good sleep.
Yeah, you're right about that. Also, that stems from the fact that what kind of a player are you? Are you at your A game when you're leading, or are you a player who's been there even with your B game you can lead? And then you almost have an air of superiority when you come on the range. These are the small little intricacies as we have a look at this shot. That's a brilliant shot all over the flagstick. So my pick
is pretty good.
Looking pretty dandy right now, Shivas.
Sure, you know your golf and you know your players.
Yeah, that's one off of it. If you can't do it, at least know about it.
I couldn't agree more with you. Meanwhile, Udayan out there to make a very important putt. Has he given it enough? Absolutely.
Right in the heart. So
absolutely.
He's putting down a marker for Yuvraj. He's saying, come on, Yuvraj. Let's see what you got.
Love it. Absolutely love it. This makes for great competition, and this is going to push Yuvraj even harder.
Now we have a look at Shaurya as well. Let's see what he can do. I'm pretty sure that he'll be able to put a befitting answer to that shot. Let's see. I like his pre-shot routine, what he is doing there.
Very solid, very, very deliberate.
Very good angles, athletic. That's almost like all of our golfers, which is so nice to see. Golf is trending towards athleticism, as you have him favoring a little bit of a draw. Let's see if it turns back enough. That's another stellar shot. What a solid shot by Shaurya as well. About 8 to 9 feet. So again, coming back, harking back to my point about distance control.
Right.
It's pure strikes from the center of the club. Those are gilt-edged, I'll tell you that much. That's so difficult. That's the gold standard in professional golf is if you're flag high anywhere above 150 yards, you're really going to find yourself in the paychecks a week after another.
You're absolutely right about that. It's because you're always giving yourself a makeable putt.
I often felt that short game, the importance of the short game is sort of waned a lot now over the years, more so in the modern game.
Well, that's still really where the money is, and that's gold, because I've always believed the golfer who can make the putts and the chips that don't give them too much of a headache is usually going to outlast the guy who's in greens all day long but not making putts.
Yeah, but I've kind of researched this a lot and seen this personally as well from my experience.
Right.
If you're as you have a look at Yuvraj, this it's a comfortable putt, and
boom.
Look at that.
Boom.
Right, that dropped like a butterfly with soared legs, perfectly right in the center. Shows you that he's on cruise control, and he's able to answer a birdie with a birdie.
And this is the second time he's done that. I mean, this is his fourth straight birdie.
Look at that. Look at how he walks. This is what I'm talking about. A man that exhibits
confidence,
exuding confidence.
Yes,
he's like an apex predator.
खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्याज के लिए।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है।
मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद।
Back to the action. That was indeed a mouth-watering few birdies that we saw. Trading blows like heavyweight champions. You know, the adage, these guys are good, really does hold true when we talk about our golfers.
No, they're not just good. They're very, very good, sure.
Yeah, they're very good indeed.
Yeah.
And the cream does rise to the top. Yuvraj and Udayan, the heavyweights of Indian golf. Udayan also such an established player. And Yuvraj pretty much in his ascendancy. Udayan plays a little bit more golf in India. Doesn't venture abroad as much as Yuvraj does. Yuvraj...
And honestly, I'd love to see Udayan go out of India and play a little bit more as well. I think that it's very developmental. They play different courses.
Yeah, he's a good player.
No
A
doubt.
lot of potential. And Yuvraj, though, is able to stamp his authority internationally as well. I think, this will be a name that will reverberate in the annals of golf. And, I know I make predictions. I predicted when I was playing golf with Buller that he would definitely be a top 25 world ranked golfer. That has not quite happened. He's almost there. But if anybody can do it, it has to be Yuvraj. He's the complete package. He's got the ball striking, the athletics, the international athleticism.
And dare I say, he's got a great temperament as well.
Yeah, and putting as well. That's, you just pointed that out. Putting is so important, especially at that level. If you're all great ball strikers,
Yes.
it's how you get it done. So he's going to be he's already a star, but he's going to go down in history as one of the Indian golf greats. As well, Udayan as well. He's already has quite a few feathers in his cap. Karthik, no?
Has he given it enough? No, it's misread it a bit. So interestingly, Yuvraj on today's round is 9 under. Still 2 holes to go. So could certainly put a big low number out there. And Udayan keeping pace with him at 8 under. So can you imagine Udayan has shot 8 under already and he's lost ground on Yuvraj. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but they're the perfect front runners, the two of them. The round of the week thus far, 9 under, 8 under. It makes your head spin, to be honest,
Yep.
Shivas, that this is the level of golf that we have. Golf indeed is in safe hands.
So thus far we have, I think 8 under has been the low round of the week. So Yuvraj is, I think, the one who's only breached 8 under to get to 9 under, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it's well on the way to get into double digits, maybe.
A lot of activity as we come to the closing stages of our telecast for today. 3 groups still on the course.
And the interesting competition on the party hole as well. That's turning out to be quite something.
Yeah, that's your boy, Kshitij. That helped.
Yeah, that was a brilliant shot by him.
That helped you win, what, lunch? Or was it a coffee from me?
Yeah, I think it was something for sure. I think he might help me win the competition as well if the thing.
If it continues this way. Yeah, absolutely. Well, then you know what you need to do with your 5,000 rupees, right? You have a couple of co-commentators in here, Swami and Shivas.
You gotta share the spoils, and there he does it. A beautiful birdie.
As you say, everyone goes home a winner. It's a team sport eventually, right?
Exactly. Now it is.
So that putt certainly helped Kshitij get the birdie, and Gained back a lost shot from the 14th hole. He did, of course, birdie the 17th as well, so which is pretty cool. That will now take Kshitij up to 14 under. And that's again incredible. As I was mentioning, now he shoots 7 under for today, and he's still sitting at 14 under, 7 shots behind our leader. Exemplary scoring in golf today.
Yeah, the golfers have been able to capitalize on the genial conditions. The greens are perfect, they're rolling well,
Soft, yes.
and the fairways are nice. You're getting lift clean in place. And, all of them really do bludgeon the ball so far that, on the holes that do seem a little tight, they're able to, go back to their rescues, which many of the golfers hit well over 250, 260, 280 also in cases. So, this is a different breed of golf altogether.
Oh, that is not good. That's going to hurt the young man. A closing bogey is not what he would have hoped for. Sorry, beg your pardon. That's the 17th hole, not the 18th. Now he moves, of course, to the 18th tee alongside the 17th green. The 17th hole itself, a nice little short par 4, some very nice rock formations.
Yeah, it's not the birdie hole for these players.
So now we have the party hole on the entire screen.
Hole number 18. I like this tee placement by other going to the left-hand side of the tee. So he's definitely going in for a draw. Quite like that shot selection. We've seen those end up rather close to the flag.
I particularly like the fact that a lot of professional golfers and good golfers create angles using different sides of the tee. It's ever so often that you see that in a lot of the clubs the teeing area is actually narrowed down, which doesn't really help anyone's cause.
And that's another beauty. What
Oh,
a shot.
lovely.
Able to utilize the contour of the green and hitting a spectacular shot.
So in the visual, you see the big high nets at the back. That's a terrific driving range at the Clover greens. Nice long one, and there was nice little short game facility as well.
Yeah, pretty different shot for the southpaw here. And he's at a similar way. So he's looking at a same curvature. So he's looking to hit a fade for the left-handed golfer. So he'll be working right to left, which is a fade left-hand player. Let's see how he does.
And definitely, most of these guys using the center spine or the slope as a bit of a backstop to pull the ball back towards the hole because it moves right to left.
That customary dip right at impact by Karthik, and that's a good shot. Just
look at that rock formation, and he's on the back half of the green.
Yeah, just overcooked it maybe by about 5 yards, and that would have been perfect.
Yep. It's going to have an interesting little downhill putt. Doesn't look happy at all. Understandably so. And now brush up Parl Singh from bang in the center of the tee. So 3 players, 3 different strategies. One hitting a draw, one hitting a fade, and one trying to thread it straight down the middle.
Let's see how he does now. That seemed like a really good swing. Very aggressive with that. Great balance. And look at that.
Beauty.
So many times you can tell a lot about just the shot from the way the player has hit it.
The body language.
That looked so good the moment he hit it.
So I'm going to sign off since Shaurya has beaten me in the party hole contest and give my seat to Swami. Welcome, Swami.
Thank you, Shivas. If Shaurya has beaten you, do you think I'll have any chance?
Well, it's been an interesting addition, this party hole. And as far as Udayan and Yuvraj are concerned, every hole is a party hole. It's been birdies and eagles here. The lead still 3 shots as our leaders Play the 17th hole. Udayan Mane in view. And this year is going to be a record, a watershed year in more ways than one for the Professional Golf Tour of India. You're seeing a substantial increase in prize fund. In addition, your numero uno number one player, Yuvraj Sandhu, is already raced to 73 lakh and 67,000. And he's played just 10 events, so it just shows you that his strike rate is really brilliant as well. He's averaging 7.3 lakh per event, so shows you that he's in and around the top 5 more often than not. And with a lot more events to go, the sky is the limit. I have a feeling he could be closer to the 2 crore mark also if he's able to continue this rich vein of form.
True, Shaurya, he could get to the 2 crore mark also, because there is a very big event, the $4 million DP World India Championships. But also, it's a question of whether he's going to play all the remaining events on the Indian tour. So Yuvraj is actually thinking in terms of going outside and playing a few DP World Tour events and the other events. So there is a possibility that he can, but I think his main goal is to try and ensure and play as many PGTI events as possible as the schedule would allow, to ensure that he finishes on top and he gets a spot onto next year on the DP World Tour. I think that's his main goal, as he's repeated himself more than once. And I think with 2 successive wins last week and possibly this week, the gap between him and the next person, which is Arjun Prasad, would have widened. Arjun, of course, has been extremely consistent, though today was hardly a good day for him. I think he shot something like 2 under, just 2 under. 2 under doesn't seem to be so great when everybody's shooting 8 and 9 under and much, scores like that. So I think Yuvraj knows that the order of merit, he has a great chance of picking that up.
Yeah, on other days, 2 under par is a good round.
That's right.
But today,
Absolutely.
I think Arjun would be feeling like he's in a gunfight with a knife.
Absolutely.
know.
And Arjun actually has had a great season. 7 or 8 previous starts have all been inside top 10. So he's really had a fantastic season. But he is still looking for his maiden win on the PGTI Tour.
Let's see how he does on this part. You can see the wind is really picked up now. And the wind does have an effect on the putt as well. Maybe not this one. If it gets up a little bit, decent effort should have that.
I think he would be pretty happy to ensure that he's got his par secure, or well, almost secure. I mean, no score is secure till you actually hole out.
And we have a great putt on the party hole. And that's by the lefty holding that lengthy putt. Well done for Karthik.
So going back to Yuvraj Shaurya, I mean, he's a guy who gets those whole birdies in bunches. He had birdies on 1, 2, 3, then again 7, 8, and now it's been 13, 14, 15, and 16. So like 4 in a row. I think that really shows, once he's in a zone, he just kind of rolls them, keeps rolling them in.
Yeah, so Yuvraj has made 4 on the trot, and this is for him to make it a trio of birdies. Let's see if he can make it. Not just big burly strength, he also has a swilken touch. Udayan, really proficient in and around the greens, rather on and around the greens. That's tracking. Look
Awesome, absolutely
Look at
fantastic
that,
effort. I tell you, I mean, he tips his cap. I think, what a putt.
If you'd accuse me of being a clairvoyant, I won't dispute that.
No, what a fantastic putt, I mean, I think putts of this kind, but these are the kind of putts which, kind of keep you going. And now he knows the gap between him and Yuvraj is suddenly down to 2 again. And 2 shots is something which is easily manageable. And I think there's still a 1 full round on the final day to go. So I'm sure Udayan Mane would also fancy his chances. He's not had a win since 2021. So he could probably be looking forward to joining the winner's circle this season.
You know what players like Yuvraj really like is a battle that when it's coming to them. You know that Udayan has really taken the fight to Yuvraj with that birdie, and that would be getting him revved up. Often, you ascend great heights when somebody is pursuing you is also making you level up. So the quantum of the challenge that is being put forth is also very important and helps you level up your game as well. So Yuvraj definitely on his A game, and Udayan is keeping him on his toes. And for those of you who joined us, it's never too late to start a good thing. I'll tell you that much. We would like to welcome you to the PGTI Players Championship at the Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort. And this tournament offers a prize fund of 1 crore, the 15th event of the calendar year. And leading the tournament is Yuvraj Sandhu, closely followed by Udayan Mane in third position. 7 shots behind, it's Kshitij Navid Kaul. So at this point in time, it seems it might well be a 2-horse race. Oh, that's a good part. It was looking like it was wearing out, but managed to fall back in.
Subhash, takes a full circle and then decides to drop in. There's Yuvraj Sandhu.
Very even keeled. All the players have their unique styles of reading the line. Yuvraj always has his left palm on his left knee. You remember Jyoti Randhawa used to be very stiff back and sort of used to move around a little bit. It was almost a patented method. Well done.
Oh,
Such as
right there.
Camilo Villegas had the Spider-Man rather. That's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you. He stopped doing that. Required peak fitness and youth.
Oh, yes. And, he's been through a lot of
It's
pain. Yes. I mean, he lost a child. I mean, I think really.
We'd like to mention that. I know it's a little out of context, but he's been doing some great work. Him and his wife setting up these sort of programs for underprivileged and just healthcare programs and honoring the name of his daughter. So, and he's won a tournament, so it's good to see that that he's been able to get his game back and good things happening for the Villegas family. Let's have a look at Udayan Mane on hole number 18, the party hole. Who's going to come to the party? Udayan, the 3 birdies on the trot. Yuvraj now 2 adrift. This is a precursor for what we might be seeing tomorrow as well. Moving day. It indeed has been for these two. 9 under and 9 under as well. 2 9 under par. So really none of them able to catch a break. What you can do, I can do better. Let's see what happens here on the final show. Look at that. Another beauty. Just waiting for that to come back now. Any moment that should catch the slope. Come on, ball.
Okay, you got to confess now, Sharia. Who did you pick for the party hole from this final group?
Well, I'm a commentator. I got to treat everyone, but but I think I'm pretty certain I would have picked Yuvraj just because I have a little bit of bias, which is the wrong word.
I love the underdog, so Udayan Mane.
It'll be unfair to call Udayan an underdog with so many victories under his belt.
Right now, with 3 shots behind, and Yuvraj being in the kind of form that he is. Look at that. There is so much confidence in his walk. Amazing.
Yeah, that's something that players can definitely take away from. I know that Udayan's also really been working on his fitness. I had a conversation with him. He's taken his fitness to the next level, and you can see that he's really the better for it. He's been getting rewarded by that, and somebody who embodies that is Yuvraj. Right from the start of his career, he posts a lot of that and puts in the work, and it's very good to see the younger lot take fitness seriously, not just flexibility and agility, just brute strength as well, which you need now in the game of golf.
Yes, indeed.
That is a sizable divot. Let's see. For a mid-iron, that's a very good divot. Another beautiful shot. Look at that. Right on the number. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your leader right there, Yuvraj Sandhu. Making it look easy as ever. Easy as a Sunday afternoon. Now Nepal star. Subhash Samang, who's done himself proud, is 3 under par today, but although be feeling like he's playing over par in the presence of these two players, 3 under par is he's 6 behind these other two for the day itself. So let's see if he can save the best for last. Come on, Subhash, you can do it. Nice abbreviated finish. Not quite certain where that has ended up. Looked like a good swing by Subhash. Sizable gallery of patrons and members.
And there is Yuvraj's father in blue shorts and the hat there. So you got both the father and son in the same screen right now.
Also, I'd like to mention that we have a really strong field this week. One of the best fields that we've seen on the professional golf tour in recent past. The best performance at a very high level. Glimpses of the day. Caddy, such an essential part of the team. The cog that makes the wheel
Look
turn.
at that shirt. Look at that shirt. So beautiful.
Pratap Singh. GPS, two-time winner on tour. Separated by almost 14 years, the two victories. So, or rather, I think it was 2008, 2016 years, if I'm not wrong. The longest gap between two victories, Gaurav Pratap Singh. It's been a long road, and as they say, all roads lead to Rome. And at this point in time, Rome definitely is the party hole. And somebody who's come to the party is Udayan Mane. He's 9 under par. Yuvraj thought 9 under would be good enough to get away from Udayan, but not to be. They're both neck and neck, and I'm pretty certain
they can get into double digits today.
I'm pretty certain both of them, one of them is making a birdie, if not both. And that could be some sort of a record in itself, that the leader and the second place player both shooting 9 or 10 under par. That's can't recall the last time that has transpired. Look at that 18th green. Beautiful. You know, the good thing about great golfers is that they're unsatiated. You know, they always want more. If you meet one of these players after the round, it's not going to say that 10 under par was the best I could do. They'll still say, I left this out there. You know, I
Oh,
missed this
yes,
spot.
indeed.
You know, it's the hunger.
And I'm sure they can count any number of holes that they left a birdie on there.
Where it's frightening to think that, you know, if how much more can you do? That's the beauty of the human spirit. If you put in the requisite work and you do your homework, and of course, you need a little bit of that X factor to separate from the 150 odd other professional golfers who, believe you me, are really, really good. And I don't just say that to sell our golfers or the international players. You must take an opportunity as Subhash now. Now this should turn left to right. Looks good. And that's really well done. That's a good
Great.
putt by him.
Absolutely great putt.
Very good speed control. Now, these golfers are really good. So if you get the opportunity where the Professional Golf Tour of India rolls through your town, your city, or your state, I implore you, go watch these players and you'll be awestruck by the quality of golf that's on display. And, our golfers have taken our flag far and wide to a lot of tours. We've won on all the major tours in the world, have Indian golfers.
Absolutely, we have.
You have our seniors doing so well. Arjun Atwal, Jyoti Randhawa, Jeev Milkha Singh. These names, these are not just golfing. These are sporting icons. These are cultural icons.
And they actually created a record of sorts by
Yeah,
making the cut at the Senior Open this year.
Yeah, they're cultural icons, and these are the youngsters who are replicating them.
And all of them are members of the PGTI.
The PGTI has done so much to grow the game of golf in India. And now it's our 4th year running that we bring to you live golf, which itself was the first, and this partnership between the ABP network and Professional Golf Tour of India. So this is what it comes down to, the party hole here at the PGTI Players Championship, Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort. As we wait with bated breath, is it going to be a 10 under par? And if you're checking the scores, there's nothing wrong with your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, the leader is at 21 under par after 3 days. And both Yuvraj and Udayan, two heavyweights of Indian golf. And in the white corner, Udayan Mane going for 10 under par. I'll have to do a little bit of an impersonation of a boxing ring
referee.
commentator. Let's see if this is going to be a birdie in the white corner. Getting closer to the hole. And it's tracking, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll have to make do with a 9 under par. So leaving the door open. And you can see
I
that.
guess Yuvraj was inside, so he'd have a chance.
Yuvraj Sandhu. This is going to be another epaulette on his shoulder. He already has so many records. A 10 under par on the 3rd day.
Last week he had 261s.
The undefatigable Yuvraj Sandhu, not to be deterred by the opponent's 9 under par, wants to go one better. And this is the kind of golf you get to watch on the Professional Golf Tour of India. The internationals being led by Subhash Thamang, N. Thanga Raja, Joshua Seal, Badal Hussain, Jamal Hussain, K. Prabhakaran, and Stepan Danik, all the way from Czechia, carrying his country's flag with pride in India. And MD Moj and MD Sulaiman from Bangladesh. So the international flavor is there. The top golfers are here, but all the eyes are firmly set on this young man, Yuvraj Sandhu, who has his putt to go to 22 under par and end the day with 10 under par on the party hole.
And that would be the 7th round in a row he would be leading at.
Making it look easy, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
He makes it look so easy.
Look at that. He's self-assured, almost like Cristiano Ronaldo. He says, yes, I am here. I'll get it done. Look at that.
I knew it. I knew it. I know I can do it.
It's the swagger. It's the swagger of a champion. You're not just making birdies. You're making a statement. You're telling the other players that I am the apex predator, boys. Come and get some.
Fantastic effort there, A 63 on the first day and a 61 here on the 3rd day. I tell you, this man is on a roll.
The journey of a million miles is started by one step, and in this case, it was that putt which took him to a 10 under par. But not to be outdone, Udayan Mane has been stellar. 9 under par. What a pursuer. Tomorrow, these players will be locked in another battle, or one for the ages. And third, Kshitij Navid Kaul definitely has a thing to say as well. He's at 14 under par. 8 behind them, but you never know. He's got his hand in the ring and he's in for the battle as well. This is how you cement your place in history. Udayan Mane 9 under par.
So 3 shots there for Yuvraj. 1 shot after the first, 2 after the second, and now 3 after the 3rd.
Look at that. A sign of respect between 2 warriors, and 3 rather, Subhash, but both of them really respecting each other and appreciating the quality of golf that has been exhibited by either one of them. That's heartening to see. It's not just that you try and beat your opponent, but you also appreciate quality golf.
And here I can't help recounting the last 7 rounds by Yuvraj Sandhu: 61, 65, 62, and 61 in Mysore a week ago. And this week it's again been 63, 67, and 61. So absolutely stunning. 7 rounds like that. The man has been on a roll. Just too good.
It's going to be a final day to remember. And if Kshitij Navid Kaul has to try and win this tournament, he'll have to run the gauntlet, so as to speak. There are two big, worthy opponents, Udayan and Yuvraj, who are leading the tournament. My apologies. Udayan is in second place, but just 3 shots.
There is Yuvraj's father in blue t-shirt right next there to his son.
So stellar day here, right from the heart of Tamil Nadu. Clover Greens Golf Course and Resort has produced some beautiful golf today. Yuvraj Sandhu leading the tournament. Udayan Mane, Kshitij Navid Kaul, Karthik Sharma, Subhash Tamang, Vir Ganapathy. And a word of appreciation for the young man who shot an 8 under par and has got overshadowed by 2 players. What a round! What a round by this young man. And
there are the scores there.
I'm sure the father is beaming with pride. Anshul Kabatyal, Shaurya Bhattacharya, brilliant back nine to come back from an underwhelming front nine. Really showcased some brilliant golf. A 7 under par on the back nine, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you get on the Professional Golf Tour of India. You get beautiful, high caliber golf. And Mohammad Adar, Vishwa Pratap Singh Gill, rounding up the top 10, tied alongside N. Thanga Raja and Abhinav Lohan, Ravi Kumar, and Joshua Seal. We implore you to stay for the highlights and definitely do join us again tomorrow.
Would this be the first time ever? I mean, there are 10 guys there right now. Well, 9 under or better, or rather 9 people at 8 people there at 10 under or better. I think this would be the first time that you'll have the entire leaderboard, or well, we could have it at the end of the 4th day, all of them in double digits.
Yeah, it's one for the ages. As we have a look at some of the highlights from earlier in the day. Where's Shaurya on your screens?
So that's the aerial view of this beautiful Clover Greens. And some highlights of the 3rd day, the moving day. And of course, the big moves came from Yuvraj Sandhu and Udayan Mane, 10 under and 9 under. Udayan Mane is still hanging on and continuing to challenge, even though he's 3 shots behind. And Yuvraj Sandhu, he has got the momentum, he's got the confidence, he's got the swag. This is right now, the tour is being dominated by Yuvraj Sandhu.
We also have the updated ProPix. Karan Vasudeva still leading. And I think I forgot to put in my leads after that. So I've been decimated off the leaderboard. So congratulations, Karan Vasudeva, followed by Meghanathan A, Rishi Narayan, Manisha Nangia, Vashu Mitra, our CEO, Mr. Amandeep Jor. Kudos to him.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee, Shaurya, and I know you would have done well.
Yeah,
I'm so busy with the commentary.
I'm a little heartbroken now. Savai Bhati in number 7, Joy